He's not here, so he won't care. He won't be mad if we.
When are we getting the nominations? I figured that was coming kind of soon.
Is he put up a photo, whatever? So I have a feeling they're gonna announce.
I think really usually soon. The announcement because the show's.
And
by the way, what's up, everybody?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
We're talking about the Game Awards nominees. We're gonna predict those later, though. First, I gotta share a story because last week we were talking about Xenoblade Chronicles X, and I don't know if Retrodeath, if you want to chime in on the best Xenoblade Chronicles game coming to Switch, and Terrell, I don't know if you want to add anything to the discussion. Me and T were talking about the Xenoblade Chronicles X port to Switch. You got any thoughts on that?
I feel my thoughts on X got overblown to the fact that everybody thinks I hate this fucking game. Like,
well, you said the combat. I don't remember if you said the combat's bad. You just said it's just like this 2's was so much better. That's what you were saying.
Yeah, I mean that was like,
and I stand by that. And it's even better again in 3.
So
I disagree.
I think so. Yeah, but you like the jiggly physics, man.
No, don't do that.
What's my reasoning then? I found the chain system boring in 3. I just literally
it doesn't
bored
hit
playing
it. But it doesn't. It's not as good in my opinion. It's just not as engaging.
That's what I like about it, though. The system in 3, it's like fucking hyper. It keeps going, and I like that.
I think the problem is you can achieve it like consistently throughout the entire game.
I think 2 is a little more challenging to pull off. It was a little more rewarding.
Yeah, 2 you actually had for certain bosses.
It's definitely more intricate in 2. I agree with that. Between all the blades and everything. But I just prefer the one in 3.
The only thing that makes 3's combat a little bit better, and it doesn't happen until later, is when you get the sword and you can do the Lucky 7 stuff. And even then, that's like pretty late game, and it's not like the thing. Like for me personally,
when it came to 2, man, I feel like I only understood the combat of 2 like at the end of 2.
Oh, no,
well, they kept 80 hours in. They gave you another. They gave you another little training thing, like what do you call it? Just to teach you a new mechanic, like 80 hours in the game.
Also, Robert, that is fair. 2's biggest problem is its tutorial. It's absolute dog shit.
And the orb thing was a little
all the
confusing.
different classes in 3 and the variety and that, and then the combinations of that between the characters and the characters that team up together and the relay shit. I just think it's way more, for me at least, it's more effective. Like I said, more.
So 3 is your favorite combat overall?
Oh yeah.
I like that the idea of that, but at the end of the day, it's just like, do I need all these characters to like? I mean, it was something to work towards. Hey, I want this character backs out,
yeah, exactly,
this class or whatever. But at the end of the day, it was just like I didn't feel like it really added anything. But either way,
I just like the idea in 3 that the characters themselves are fighting. And I'm not gonna lie, 2 has this black stain in my mind because of this fucking gotcha shit where every time you're like waiting and hoping, and it just that works into it, man. That's just annoying.
Anyway, this is about Xenoblade Chronicles X coming to Switch in March 20th, 2025.
So, I'll say this: it's a day one buy purely because the entire Xenoblade collection is now on Switch.
Yeah,
I love
with that game, and I have every other game. The entirety of Xenoblade is on Switch. I feel like.
But we say that until a new console comes, and then now the whole thing's not on
yeah,
Switch.
but here's the thing: we already know the new console's backwards compatible.
Yeah,
they've already confirmed that.
Yeah, but you're gonna be like, this is the whole.
But Switch is backwards compatible, so it's all.
And then 10 years from now,
it's all playable on the Switch successor.
I'm very glad they announced that
Robert.
earlier.
Like 10 years from now, if you want to play the older games, you just need a Switch. You can play like the first 4 games.
You need the Switch 2 to play them.
Yeah, even that.
No, I get I get that, but what I'm saying is like it's technically not all on one platform. It won't be for our lifetime. For now it is, but not for our lifetime.
Well,
all the games will be playable on the same platform, the Switch 2.
Yeah, let me be happy about it now. The only thing that's gonna piss me off is if another game comes out on Switch 2 and the box changes, and I'm gonna be like, God damn it.
Well, if the box, dude, if the box doesn't change, I'll be mad.
No. I'm just saying, like, aesthetically, it just pisses me off. Like,
well, that's why.
I got all these nice Switch.
What do you mean you don't like? You don't want? I think they should stay the same. Just maybe change.
What?
Why?
No, they need to change something so you could differentiate.
Well, just
it's a sequel to the next thing.
Put
just
the
like,
Switch 2 logo. I mean, that's all the PS4, PS5 do.
Robert
No,
was
but yeah, but they
perplexed.
still look different in terms of at least the white
Yeah,
and like.
that's
Oh
all I
yeah,
gotta
you
do.
guys are weird anyway, because your Wii U spines are white. It makes no sense. So your Wii and Wii U games basically look the same
Right.
from the
I
start.
don't know.
No,
This
there's
spine's yellow. I
the,
don't
the,
know
the,
about
box,
Oh
that.
wow!
the box is blue though. Like it looks
Yeah, the
different.
box is blue. That's a little bit different.
May
And
just
it's
make
got
the
the little
Switch to a white spine. Look at that.
A white. Hey, look, I'll
Just
take
give me
it.
a red. Just give me a red case.
Anyway, Sandstorm, what's up, man?
Red with the.
Let's
big
make sure his
P.
mic works. Quiet. We can't hear you.
Hey
Oh,
no! Hey no! He's been talking
You
in
know-
the void this whole time.
I see your
Damn.
headset's lit up, but I don't hear nothing, man. You know who he reminds me of? He looks like that Kevin Kenson guy who reviews. I don't know why I'm getting those vibes. Who reviews like
I know.
accessories? He's got the highest video quality of any YouTube video.
Well, doesn't he have the same beard? Am I wrong?
No,
I can't even imagine what. I don't know if he has a beard or not, but I just said
No,
something about.
he has a beanie.
He
on
wears
all
the
time.
beanie. That's what it is. I think he does have a
He
bit
has
of a
a beard,
beard.
though.
Let's look.
Beanie is a sign.
For those that
of
don't
quality.
know who I'm
Okay,
talking
am I
about,
live? Am I good?
I can hear you.
I know who Kevin Kitty is.
All right, before you say anything, I'm gonna.
No, you're still deaf, man.
Oh,
Oh
you
wait,
went back. You went silent
Yeah,
again.
you went
Yeah,
silent
no,
again.
wait.
Oh yeah, I did. You do it on purpose.
Yeah, my check.
There you
Oh,
go.
yeah, you're being disrespectful. How dare you?
Can you all hear me?
I
Can
guess
you
so.
all see me?
Not by choice, but
I can't
yeah,
see you
we're
though.
here.
We can't see you.
I didn't consent. Is all I'm saying.
All right.
Also, but yeah, we yeah. Honestly,
I'm not saying you look just like him, but I'm getting vibes.
I can understand what you mean by that because the beanie and the beard.
He doesn't have the beard like the quality of beard. He just has facial hair
Quality
and a
of
beanie.
beard.
It's where the hell is he? Jesus Christ! Sorry. Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Just got the vibes. I just got the vibes. You know, it's not like not like
get
your
the
twins.
Vibes. I get
I
the
respect
vibe. I'll
I
say
respect
that.
it. Yeah, I respect it.
And that, I mean, he might have had a longer beard in another video, so I don't know.
That's funny because this past week somebody's been telling me I don't even know who this guy is. It's like some old football player, somebody with the C or something like that. They're like, "Oh, you look just like him." I've been told that like 2 or 3 times now within the past week, and I'm like, I do not know
Really?
who this guy is.
Hmm.
Yeah.
You gotta look him up. You gotta remember his name.
It's on my phone. I just don't want to search for it.
Oh, you just gave me.
All right, well, since we got your mic and you're holding up the game, we had a little chat, or maybe it was, I think, yeah, you said it in our DMs on Twitter. You had you have a theory. I think I called you out last week on podcast. I can't remember about your theory. Maybe I didn't, but the using the Switch One.
Oh yeah, the second screen, the whole second screen thing. So I thought there would be an interesting idea because then a lot of people complain about not having a second screen and like that's the whole definitive version.
Oh, you're breaking up a bit. We lost you.
I spent so much time trying to get right.
Okay, you're back.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Fighting you.
So one of the ideas that kind of surrounded it was that for those of us who like the second screen, that it could be possible that if you are playing the game with the Switch 2, that some way or some shape or form that it would be able to speak to your original Switch to allow you to use the touchscreen still as that second screen.
I mean, it's a cool idea. I just don't think there's any way Nintendo's going to implement that.
It would be cool, but zero chance.
I mean, they're they could put it in an app. There's plenty of ways to do it to make it happen. It's not like
maybe they could
use voice chat over a phone. So it's not.
I
like
mean, if they wanted it, if you played the Switch in handheld, it could work. Like just
yeah, but he's
Switch
saying
handheld.
Switch 2 docked. Use your Switch 1 as a gamepad. Now, if they already ported over almost every other Wii U game, so I don't see them doing that for any kind of like Wii U specific
Star Fox Zero is
virtual
left,
consoles.
I mean,
But
yeah,
I think it'd be a cool idea. I just think there's 0% chance, like Robert said.
Yeah, I think that'd be awesome, but like Nintendo does not give two
They don't care
shits
about the Wii U.
the
They want you to
Yeah.
forget
The
about
Wii
it.
U is what you're talking
Like
about.
you know how you said there's people complaining about the second screen. It's
Mhm.
about 7 people. It's
Mhm.
these people.
Oh, you say 7 people?
Yeah, it's me,
Damn.
you, maybe Sandstorm.
Yeah.
And honestly,
I'm a complainer.
the games that I thought there's no way this is going to be good on Switch, like Splatoon 2, I honestly think it works better having it on the screen. Just quickly hold the button, use your gyro to launch somewhere on the map. To me, that works just as good, if not even more intuitive than looking down and while you're taking one hand off the freaking controller to tap on the screen versus just hitting a button going like that with the gyro and you're launching. So I've been kind of early on, I was all about that, but I kind of changed.
It kind of makes me wonder too, like with Wind Waker and Twilight Princess, if those because
I mean, if they'd
even
implement
over
the feature, they
Xenoblade.
might as well use it. But there's only a few other games left to use it, so.
Right.
Or they
right.
could go, back and update stuff. But I really don't see it. It would be amazing though. That'd be so perfect. Yeah, you guys. There's 140.
Give you a
million
reason to
Switch
keep your
users,
Switch one, you know?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But
awesome.
It would
But-
also be a reason to buy a Switch on top of that if you really wanted that second screen. Now they
Yeah.
have them at discounted prices.
it's going to be interesting because I've never kept a previous Nintendo handheld when I got the new one.
Mhm.
And I am, I usually don't keep two of the same system, and I've never have. But it's like I got the Switch OLED. Depends on what the Switch 2 is and stuff. It's gonna be a little harder for me to part with it, like in my mind, but it might not
Yeah.
once the
And
system.
you customized. Remember, you went in and did stuff with it.
Well, on the first one I did, but my
Oh, the first one. That's right.
the Joy Cons are the ones I modded with the button, the D-pad, and stuff. And I kind of wish I would have kept the OLED. The hat started with new ones and kept the OLED ones. I thought that would sweeten the pot. I got 300. I think 300 even for my old day one Switch, but I included the brand new OLED Joy Cons. But I think I could have sold it for the same price with my other ones. But either way, so since none of you guys were here, I know Robert, you played X, but I think you stopped at chapter
never
8.
finished it.
Did you get a
Something
skull?
like that. No,
Okay, so
I think I was on the chapter where you get one or something.
one of the
Yeah, that's-
issues that they need to address with this version, I can't remember the official title. Is it a definitive edition? What do they call it? Deluxe? Do they even give it a?
No, it's definitive.
definitive edition.
That quest for the skulls highlighted one of the biggest flaws, in my opinion, of Xenoblade Chronicles X, and that is you have to collect these items. I think there was 8 different items, resources, and you're like, well, okay. I look in my inventory. Oh, I got 3 of those. I need 10 or 8, whatever it was. It's like, where did I get these? So I'm using the in-game stuff. I spent like 10, 15, 20 minutes like trying to figure out, is this game gonna tell me where I acquired those or what region they're in? And nope, nothing. Just got to go on not Wikipedia, but there was a Xenoblade form, basically Wikipedia like page. It had all the answers because it came out in Japan a year earlier, so all the answers you needed were in there. It was really well done, and I'm like, shame on the developers and Nintendo and Monolith for not giving you even a hint of where these items were, So it was just like, I don't know how anybody figured that out without, obviously somebody did initially. Somebody grinded.
Right?
I mean, these days it's people just instantly go into the code of the game, man, to locate shit.
But it's like one of the items you had to go. So I don't even know which direction it was. I think it was north. You're still in the main region. What was Pandoria or something? I'm trying to think of the main region that's New LA sits in and stuff. And there was like this big land bridge that was way above everything else, and there was like a cave and then some water around there. You just had to fight the enemies in that area, and like every other battle you would get 1 or 2 of the item you needed, and the only way you would know it was a special item is if you had that quest active, and it'd be like a little orange diamond looking thing versus the green, light green style, and then you pick it up and it make a little different noise. You didn't know what it was, but it's like, so I had to look up that for multiple items, and I'm like, they need to don't tell me exactly where to go. Like Xenoblade Chronicles 3 just basically gives you a marker exactly on the your map, or your, I think it was on your on-screen HUD. Go right to this rock, and right there, that's the sort of thing you need. Pick it up, and your quest is solved. Like, that's a little too much hand holding, but I really think they need to fix that issue, because it was with other quests too. Like, oh, you got to get this item. Like, where the hell is this item located? And it was just it's so poorly done, I thought.
I think they expected that when people, and I guess like shame on them for that, right? But I guess they expected people when they were in the overworld, not with the scale, that every time you saw one of those diamonds, you're like, oh, I just got to go ahead and collect that.
Yeah, that's fine though. But this one item was only in that one specific spot. Those creatures in that specific spot would drop them every 2 to 3 battles.
I don't remember how I found that out.
Isn't that damn? I think it's that alligator enemy.
Yeah, right.
That was one of them. One of them was like an alligator enemy, but there was another one in a different area that I don't.
Because I remember I had to do that quest, and I was in that freaking cave, and I had to run out and run back in because the drop rate wasn't like high. Like you could get it, but you had to like, it was like.
It'd be cool if it's like, hey, this resource is often seen in this area, and then just have it clearly identified, look on the map. But if you've never been to that area, then one of the positives, one of the things I liked about the game that people complain about was, oh, I gotta explore 25% of this region in order for get the next quest. I'm like, yeah, because they want you to like actually do what you're supposed to do in the game is
also
reestablish connections on this
I
this
raised
planet.
that as a problem from my side. One of the problems that I had and why I stopped playing is like I was just stuck in the game where in order to move to the next chapter, I needed like what 75% of the map, and I had 73 or something like that. I don't remember exactly, and I couldn't find that spot. I had the whole map. I went over the whole map so many times. I couldn't find it. I stopped playing. I was sick of it. So then I was like, I want to fucking continue this game.
Aren't they like
So
yellow?
I looked it up online, and there was a fucking area hidden somewhere around the corner, super secret, that I had to uncover on the map in order to have that percentage so that I could move on in the game.
The reason why it was a big issue specifically for X is because I don't know if you would agree, if people would agree with this or not. I think X is the most unforgiving by putting you in an area and putting a bunch of high-level enemies around you and shit. To even get some of those markers in the area, like knocking them or some shit, you had to go deep within like enemy situations where you could not win. There was no way you were gonna win that out.
Well, 2 had that as well, though.
But I think X was more. Obviously, X was more unforgiving with it. Like I only remember that in like Gormott for 2. Well, Gormott and
I remember that more in 2 than in X, but obviously X it was longer ago when I played it. But I get what you're saying. Maybe make it. I mean, wasn't it like a glowing yellow thing out of the ground? That
it was.
Yeah.
It was.
I mean, if you missed it, you missed it. That happens in a lot of games. Like somebody gets lucky and just finds something, and another person, they spend hours and hours, and they're like, I can't find this. Oh, I found that accidentally. I get that's something they could streamline too. I still like the idea of making sure people are actually out doing what the games want. The story of the game and the mechanics of the game is go to these sites, and then you connect them on the map, and you can get resources and stuff later on. That's how you get money, to buy the expensive skulls and stuff. And it's kind of, maybe I don't know that they could remove that. I don't know what they would replace it with, but I see where you're coming from, but I also like the idea of, hey, at least make people have to go out and
the
do
mechanic
something.
isn't bad by itself, but that specific moment I was stuck. Like it was like just lower the percentage a bit, and then I'm fine with it.
It's crazy because you're the guy who goes and explores before doing stuff.
But that's why. Like I'm that guy who fucking goes all over the place around the clouds, swimming. I'm literally always in games killing myself trying to explore things I shouldn't be exploring. That's why I was like, I don't understand why I'm not allowed to progress because there's one fucking thing I need to activate. I can't get in this area. I don't understand it. And it was something like Terrell said. You had to race to an area with characters that were like 40 levels above me, where I'm like, okay, I shouldn't be here, you know, and you have to like zoom through and climb over these hills, all this stupid ass shit.
Yeah,
like,
you had to
I
do.
don't know.
At least they had a good map. But the funny point I was getting to, I don't know if there was any mission where I didn't already have the percentage needed. Maybe one time. That's was I remember hearing that complaint back when the game was out, and I'm like, dude, every time I go to a mission, I'm already at the percentage I need. I've never had to I didn't have to go and grind. I already had over the percentage.
I never
I'm
had
sure
it.
I
But
ran
that
into
is
that.
the
I don't
only
remember.
time where I had it. That is the only time where I had it. It just happened to be the one. I don't know.
So-
And it was like before. Was it before you got the skills, or was it right after? I think it was maybe before.
It was
still.
before for me.
It was before the scales though, because I couldn't even like race around it. You know, I had to like do all that shit by foot and everything.
Yeah, I remember
That
you
made it
guys. I
even
remember
weirder.
hearing a bunch of people complain about it. It was just one of those things, man. I was so engrossed in that world, and I was just like, every mission I've been at the right. But the only thing that stopped me was some of the affinity quests, because a character was gonna die, and they wanted to actually get to know this character before. You know, I'm not. You know, I hopefully that's not a spoiler. It happened. I think at least twice, and it's like if you didn't force you to do the affinity, then it would the story being an open world game. They have a set story. It's like, yeah, that would defeat any impact it had on the story. But they force you to get the affinity, which means you have to go do the missions with this character in your party, and watch all the cutscenes and stuff with them. So. I think that was just their solution to an open world game, RPG, you know, with the style of open world exploration, you know, like.
I like the idea of the affinity missions, and it forces you, you know, that is not just, you can explore, but at least, you know, get to know these characters and everything.
So that's what held me up. The percentage I was always at. So, other than
the
that,
one thing that I hope that they improve in the game, and I know, like I said earlier, everybody thinks I fucking hate this game because I always complain about the same things. I always complain about the stupid music in the city. I fucking hate it. I always complain about the fact that they sold this game based on the scales, and you get the scales in like chapter 9 out of 12, which is fucking bullshit.
8 you get the drive around, and 9 or 10 you get to fly.
Yeah, but once you get to fly the way you should, it's like really late. But all those things considered, the one thing that I just really wish they would work on, quality and life improvements, and I doubt they will, is the super convoluted fucking menus when it comes to the weapons and shit. Like, you have to like pay for this research to get these weapons, and you hope you can equip it, and there's all these things. Like, every time in these menus, and the somewhere in that market area, there's like this weapon thing you have to go to, do all this shit, look at all those menus. It's so convoluted. It doesn't need all
some of that
shit.
was, I think, DLC.
To be fair, I think it's like every other Xenoblade game. I think X and 2 have the worst menus, with 1 and 3 having better menus.
I never had a problem in 2 for any of that.
2 we had to deal with all those generic blades, man. They all have an issue, but I agree. And so after the podcast last week, I was like, you know, I'm gonna hook my Wii U up, and I had an itch to play. So Robert was surprised at what some of the things I forgot. You know, one of the biggest things I forgot was the popping in X, like how the environments. The environments was the priority, and I'm running or driving around my Skell, and there's just like. And plus, also the big creatures; those show up way in the distance. But all like the base camps scattered throughout,
people and cars
and people that literally like 20.
I remember you
20 feet in front of your character
when the game came out.
Yeah, but it's like I didn't think of it because by the time my last 100+ hours in that game, I'm flying around on a Skell. I'm way up in the air. I'm not too worried, but
you didn't have to notice it.
And
it's like you're walking out of the city, and once you reach the gate, all of a sudden this mech just appears next to you with some people and shit. It's bad.
So I think that's something they'll fix on the Switch version. Me and T talked about. I don't like what they did to Elma's character model to face. There's no reason to make it. There's no reason to. They made to make it anime and change her face so much, but.
But that's the thing. It's not even. It's literally a different character. Man.
Yeah, like it's not even like they anime-fied her face. It's a different face, man.
Different shape. Hair's different. Lynn, no one. I couldn't find a comparison shot because it's probably too far in the game for people.
They all look pretty much similar, at least that. But like Elma was like, bro, that's not Elma. Like you literally changed to that's who is this person? You changed the entire.
There's still time. There's still time to fix it.
And I doubt they would change it, but God, I hope they would.
Wait, her face in the new trailer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
To me, it's more closer to her like Xenoblade 2 appearance.
Well, I looked it up.
Yeah,
Dude,
but let me ask you
even...
something. Also, it's not because they
it's
showed
not.
it. I remember seeing.
I looked up a comparison.
Xenoblade 2 looks like the X one, and also, we're not talking about Xenoblade 2. We're talking about Xenoblade Chronicles X, the game that
I don't know why they even animate her up at all, unless.
That's because they clearly.
I mean, that because
wanted to change
two had like a problem with like resting bitch face, like a lot.
But that was her face though.
Hold on.
Yeah, she did.
So
yeah.
I think the pop-in needs to. I think they need to get rid of that.
On cars, man.
I honestly, I don't. That never bothered me. It's such a minor thing.
Immersion-wise,
it's only appearing in New LA.
It's only in New LA. It's like
and immersion-wise, that kills me, man. It's stupid. Have the cars just.
You're not even gonna play the game
shit.
though. You're just.
It's like well, think about it, maybe. But
that doesn't mean that I can't advocate for change.
No one wants excuses.
Hold on a second. They could. This is in the far future. They could say that well, cars go through.
They're just holograms. They're just holographic. There's no reason to have cars anyway. It's silly. Sandstorm's just not involved in this conversation.
How are you gonna drive a car
I'm
around
actually
the
waiting
world?
because I have a good question. Actually, it's kind of a transitional, but still about Xenoblade.
I still want to talk about X because I have hands-on with playing.
Oh no! This is about X, but it's just another portion.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say real quick, Sandstorm, for you though, that you might potentially be right with the Switch because remember. For Smash, they did have the 3DS you could play out as a Wii U controller, which was like the only time they ever did that, So maybe they'll do some crazy shit like that.
That is very true. It's already there for you, so.
I mean, you have a mechanic in the
And most
Switch that
people
you can put them together, remember, for like Mario Party, and it will become like one thing.
Realistically speaking, most people at that point would have a Switch anyway. So, like, whether you were getting a Switch 2 or not, you would probably more than likely already have a Switch on hand. So it's not
that
like
would be cool.
They would be asking
I mean,
you
like I said, it works within the Switch itself already, so why not?
We're assuming same operating system. I guarantee that Nintendo is probably not going to change that. Everybody's expecting like this whole big change with the OS. I see them adding one color and being like, there you go.
Yeah, that's what I said. They had the gray theme to it,
No, but my question is, how many of you guys actually played online with this game? Because
I did one time.
A little bit. The slightest. I didn't know you could play like actual.
You talking about where you team up to go do like a special fight?
Yeah.
In that one area, that special area.
How I got banned.
Yeah, I did it.
Wait,
once.
didn't we want to do that?
Yeah, that was the game that
I did it with Clocked, I think, once before the online died.
Yeah, and
I would have liked to done that.
It didn't work like we hoped.
Are they allowing like? Because what it looked like from the small little piece that we got, are they allowing like you to finally go open in the open world with this thing?
That would be something. That'd be cool.
I don't see Nintendo putting in that much effort.
Yeah, unless they already had the idea and just the limitations or something of the Wii U.
Well, who's porting this? Do you think it's Monolith stuff? Still,
no. But the question kind of came up, and actually, real talk, I said it before OJ, but I'm not.
Donnie, remind me, does the online only work in specific predetermined scenarios? That's how I remember it.
But the question came up as far as the testing. What was that? The
play test.
Came in relation to Xenoblade.
Retro, don't make any move. Don't move at all.
Having 32 players online, and that being in relation to being into the open worldness of Xenoblade. So, I guess kind of with that thought.
I hate it because I was setting like extras. So stupid.
I don't know. I mean, don't need that many players. It wouldn't make sense for X to have 32 players, but that's something.
At least I thought that's what you could do with friends in the overworld,
That would be kind of cool.
Retro, blink if there's a connection to Xenoblade.
Blink twice. So, I went hands-on with the Wii U version for the first time in probably like 4 years. I unplugged my Wii U June 2021. We played Mario Kart in May of 2021's last time I really played it.
Yeah, because you fucking sold the other game and we
But
wanted to play
Xenoblade
together.
Chronicles X had been a while, and I played it for like 5 minutes, in like 2021 or something. So first off, I was like, all right, I got this new TV. It makes Switch games look great. Let me hook the Wii U up. I'm gonna be blown away. Out of all the games I put in, Xenoblade Chronicles X looked absolute terrible on the TV. It looked just like very disappointing. It looked by far the worst out of all the Wii U games I put on.
Now, is it just resolution wise?
It's 720p. Does not look good blown up to 77 inches. The fact there's like no like any kind of lighting in the game. Characters, everything was just like jaggies and like the pop in. I was like, damn, like I still thought, I look at all the screenshots I took, and they're all like tiny because Wii U took really small resolution. I mean, it looks great. I flew around, I played for a little bit, but I'm like, man, it just looked dark, looked low res, blurry, like way worse than I remembered. In my mind, it looked like what the Switch version looks like in that trailer, like how that works. So I was like, yeah, this definitely needed a little bit of an uplift, and hopefully the Switch has enough juice to make this game, look a lot better. But surprisingly,
Does it really though? I thought like
that's the other thing I thought.
Really,
I went from Xenoblade Chronicles X on Wii U to Xenoblade Chronicles 3 on the Switch, and it's like it's easily a generational leap that I didn't think had happened with the Switch over Wii U. I put Smash 4 on. I went right to
gorgeous.
I went right to Smash Ultimate like a minute later. Smash Ultimate looks significantly better when it comes to the lighting, the 3D. The character models just look more three-dimensional. The backgrounds are sharper. I mean, they both run at 1080. A lot more effects. Everything just looks so much better. I was just like, I couldn't believe it, because in my mind, their Wii U and Switch were like so close. But
did you try 3D World and 3D World?
I didn't switch those up because it's a port of the same game. So I'm just talking about like a new version of in the same franchise. Mario Kart 8 still looked good. The Wii U version, even at 720p, that still looked good. Smash 4 looked good, but like I said, put on Ultimate, it's like, wow, like there's so much more depth to the scene. The lighting's so much better, obviously way faster and all that. The other thing was my memories of the Wii U. I was having trouble that night because go from PS5 and Switch, you're in and out of games pretty easily. Like even if you have to boot up a game on either system, we use like holy shit 2 minutes like to get into Xenoblade. To get into the freaking settings, you gotta wait like 40 seconds. Like I'm like, man, obviously I remember it, but it was like kind of a shock to my system to go back. Bring up the activity log. That's like a 10-15 second load just to get your activity log, which is, I love the activity log. It's so much better than the Switch, but everything's just slow. Just getting out of games, it's just weird. You can't, being so used to suspending games.
How much lower that would be before we got the update for it to be.
Oh yeah, they added you turn the gamepad on and you can say, hey, I want to boot straight to the game, or I want to go to the Wii U menu.
Yeah.
And initially I was like, wow, this is like hard to go back. But once I got past that and I just started playing games, the next day I played Mario Maker, played all my levels. Took me about 2 hours, I think. Just played them all, beat them all. And I was like, man, I really like this flying level I did. I copied the one over, so I get out my Switch. I got the gamepad plugged in, sitting off to the side, and I'm copying block for block one level from Wii U over to the Switch. And after about 2.5 hours, my hands were cramping. I only got half the level, copied over. I wish I could just import it, but you can't. And I was like, you know what? Once you have the Wii U on, playing off TV, I had YouTube just auto playing a bunch of stuff. It's like this was the life back in the day. Watching football or whatever, gamepad on my screen, just playing Xenoblade or something. I didn't need to pay as much attention. It was just that was the highlight for me. And So initially I was like, oh man, this kind of lowered my feelings on the Wii U, but by day 2 I was like, got over that.
It was the original Iron Man suit of of the Switch, right?
And, yeah, yep. And no Miiverse really, it sucks not having any kind of functionality. T said there's a way to get it. I should just look it up, but so yeah, it was kind of eye opening. The nostalgia for me, almost every game on Wii U now has a sequel. Not all of them are better, but has a good sequel that's like, there's really no reason to keep the Wii U plugged in because I rinsed these games. I've literally, I was
Woolly
looking.
World, man.
I'm looking at Woolly World. I'm looking at Tropical Freeze. We're talking 50 plus hours in almost every game. Like of 3D platformers, Bayonetta's 60 plus hours. I had 54, 56 hours in Tropical Freeze. Mario Maker had 200 hours, 210 or something, 205. Smash, Mario Kart, Xenoblade, just 200 plus hours. The only games I had little time in was Sonic Lost World and Captain Toad. I think both had like 13 hours. Maybe Rainbow. I think Rainbow.
Captain Toad is a reasonably short game, though.
Rainbow Curse. I think I had 20 hours in. I put a lot of time in a lot of games. So.
Man, Captain Toad is good though.
I'd say my biggest takeaway though is I got to give the Switch more credit. That the visual leap is way more than I initially thought. It reminds me of when a Blu-ray came out, and I actually bought a Blu-ray player for like $700 just because I wanted to see it. I had no intention of keeping it because I was like, there's no difference. I watched stuff. I was like, man, there's no difference. A couple years later, when I owned a Blu-ray player, I was like, let me throw a DVD back in, and I was like, holy shit, like it's such a huge difference now. And it's like, and initially I didn't think there was. So I think the same thing happened to me with the Switch. That little machine, man, that's doing some pretty good stuff with the games that utilize it well.
I think too, also with that too, is we also had other machines that were doing significantly more at the time as well. So that included, the PS4 at the time, PS4 Pro, like that also, kind of played a part too. Because now that you say that, I'm like even thinking in my head, like, man, the jump really can't be that significant because Breath of the Wild was on the Wii U too. And like,
but look, I wonder Breath of the Wild on Wii U to Tears of the Kingdom on Switch. I bet you it would be pretty significant.
Yeah. So yeah, that's crazy to think about. I've like picked up my Wii U. I pick it up every November, whatever the day is after Thanksgiving, because I just have a video game day all day, and like, I don't know. Yeah, like just I'm so immersed into playing the games that like I never bothered to look over and be like, dang, like yeah, there's a big jump there.
When you like,
we need a sequel to that with online, man, Nintendo Land.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I'm maybe not everybody would feel the same, but I was surprised at Smash 4 to Smash Ultimate. I was like, I just thought they would look identical, and I was like, damn.
Well, they changed up. I remember them changing up the character models like a lot, like genuinely, like I remember.
And the lighting makes a huge difference. Plus, all the all the effects, like the cloud, like when you punch. There's all these other effects that aren't in the Wii U version. It looks almost like the Wii U version is almost like a beta or alpha build to Ultimate, and then Xenoblade Chronicles 3 to Xenoblade Chronicles X. I mean, to me, that's PS4 to PS5 jump. Like that's how big it looked to me. So
now that you just see the jump between Wii U and Switch, does it make you extra excited, like for what might be coming next?
I don't know. It makes me extra excited, but I'm definitely expecting.
Nintendo. You're gonna love that, man, because this is gonna be a genuine jump, where it's gonna be like an actual
The question is Nintendo gonna support a current HDMI? Because when Switch came out, it's HDMI 1.4A instead of HDMI 2. So that means I forget what 2 could do that 1.4 didn't. And maybe correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe it's 2. Maybe they add it to the OLED model, but there's certain limitations, certain features. Well, one of the features of HDMI 2.1 that now that I'm on my second TV with VRR, 120 hertz and all that, it's like VRR, if it jumps from like 60 down to 40, yeah, you're gonna still notice it. But just going from, I had Horizon Zero Dawn Remastered on, just base PS5 and the Pro for those that haven't noticed. And you can on the new LGs, you hit the, if you're playing a game that supports HDMI 2.1, it brings up this on screen. It shows your frame rate, tells you if VRR is supported or on, and it gives you some. You can toggle through some user settings if you want to tweak the picture between some games, look better on one HDR setting or one brightness setting, and another game like you can really pop. Like I could spruce up Elden Ring. It's kind of a at times a little washed out, a little less contrasty. I mean, I could force it to look better. I'm kind of a purist, so I don't like to do that. And it's just like, man, if the Switch 2 doesn't support HDMI 2.1, like your TV automatically goes into game mode, gives you the lowest latency. You don't have to worry about anything. It just detects, hey, this is a game console. Go to VRR mode, go to low latency mode. It's just nice stuff. If the Switch 2 doesn't do that, it's going to be disappointing for me. It won't be the end of the world. I'm just saying it's just cool to, to see that kind of stuff. Like, just someone like me, I like that. Somebody else, they could care less about it, and I understand that's fine. But that's the one thing.
Is that like a more standardized thing, as far as 2.0 versus 1?
No, 2.1 is now
2.1.
the standard. 2.0 is probably still readily used, because only 2.1 is really only for gaming. I mean, the only other feature, it's just higher bandwidth, which is for 4K 120 or 8K 60 content. And then they also can include all this stuff, like I said, they call it auto low latency mode, VRR support, 120 hertz support, 144 hertz support. All that's only through 2.1. So 2.0 was like your HDR, your 4K 30, maybe 4K 60, HDR, all that was in 2.0. That's why the Switch couldn't do HDR, because it's HDMI 1.4. So just something like I'm hoping in the Switch 2. I don't know how we got on that, but yeah, I'm excited because, like I said, I wasn't like thinking of it in those terms. Like, oh wow, I realized the Switch is more of a jump than I thought, and it made me just appreciate the Switch more. Honestly, I mean, ever since the OLED, I feel like I've appreciated the Switch more than originally, and now I feel even more appreciation for it. So, but the Wii U still.
That jump's gonna be crazy.
I think, and the Wii U still, like I had once I was doing the off TV playing Mario Maker. Yeah, I mean, I remembered the good old days of the Wii U. It brought me right back. And it's like, man, without the Miiverse though, it really does feel like a dead console.
I love how we always used to play
like
each other's Mario Maker levels and stuff. Like I always played like Juice's levels. Robert made like 2 walking simulators. Like still waiting on T's level.
You know, it's funny. It's kind of funny. I thought my levels were gone. I went to go to the play option, and it takes you to the online hub, and it says no online, and brings you back. I'm like, how am I going to play my levels? We got to go into the make feature. Click on the, what is it called? Something bot. And then that takes you to the course bot, which then lets you like edit your level or play your levels. And I'm like, oh, thank God. I thought they were gone. So I had
so much time into this level creation.
I downloaded like 3 or 4 levels. The rest were mine. Some I didn't finish. Some I didn't upload. Some I tweaked and never re-uploaded. So it tells you, I know I went in and edited after they added stuff. And I always said, I make Mario levels, I make them for me. I make them levels I like. I don't really care. Yeah. You know, it's cool when people liked them too. I mean, you guys might laugh. There's 2 levels that I made. I barely remembered like making them. I remembered, I did a Callie and Marie level where you pick the C was Callie, and then you got the amiibo, you got the costume. The other one you got Marie, and I made, depending on which one you went down, it was 2 completely different levels. I just sectioned them off. And I'm like, I know I made this level, but I don't remember, like, how did I come up with some of this stuff? It was honestly the coolest thing to go back and play these levels after years and years. I forgot that that they even existed. So I was playing it like I didn't remember what the solution was. What do I got to do here? I'm like, what do I do? What do I have to do? Trying to think back to when I created it, and I was like, this is a cool ass level. And then there was another level. I'm not even shitting you. I'm like, this is better than every level on Wonder to me. Like this level to me is better than any level in Wonder.
Jesus Christ!
Like
That's so crazy.
He's like playing the
it
game.
is so
wild.
no, I'm just like this level. I said this level is legit a better level, a better Mario level than any level I remember playing in Wonder. I'm not kidding you. It wasn't just
That's
like
wild.
That's a crazy.
But I told you I made the levels
Like,
for
damn,
me.
I'm good as fuck.
I didn't make them for
I'm not
other
gonna
people.
lie, man. The Mario Wonder levels are like too basic. I've said it since the start. I don't.
No,
They
come
are.
on, We're not.
Yeah,
dissing
But
the
if you
Wonder
don't do
Wonder.
the Wonder Flower thing, like those levels are just so freaking basic. Like
Not
What?
in the slightest. They're
I'm not
fantastic.
good. We're not.
anyway,
Man, you didn't even start the game. You just started the game in like 2 years.
I
Oh.
did. I beat. I 100% of the game. Remember, it was before
Yeah.
Japan.
Oh, that's true.
so either way, I have like
He's like, we gotta put some respect on Robert's name, man.
Come on, man.
Don't-
That was. It was literally Japan. I mean, it was the game, and then I did I ran, and then it was Japan. It was great.
and let me
He's
make
like,
this
"Don't
clear
you
though.
disrespect me like that, man.
There was 2 levels. I'm like, this level sucks. Two of my levels, like this is trash. Like, why did I think this level was good? It was so bad. It made them.
You should be recording yourself playing these levels.
should have.
This is-
Now-
It should have been. Yeah, it should have been a
I
reaction.
don't have a
video.
capture card anymore, but
I have that as one of my YouTube ideas, man. Reacting to my old Mario Maker levels.
I'm
Some
telling
year
you,
it's gonna
I
happen. I'm gonna
spent
forget
2
all of them.
hours playing. I just like, man, damn this. I didn't actually. There's 2 levels I didn't play, and I got a new TV stand, so I unplugged the Wii U. I haven't plugged it back in. Honestly, I'm not even gonna plug it into the TV. I'm just gonna plug it into an outlet and use the gamepad, and keep messing around with Mario Maker. Or also, I was thinking about starting Link to the Past over because I went to my save file and I was right. I beat the game. I was right at the last boss. There's items I didn't even get on that playthrough on Wii U. It was like
Well, I'll say
2013.
this:
It's pretty
that's
funny.
the reason to go back to Wii U is Mario Maker 1. You know,
Yeah.
it's stuff, something like that.
I don't
You can't
remember
download other people's levels, but you have your own memories.
And
that
I
is always
downloaded some of
like-
my favorite levels, which is
He's getting
cool.
nostalgia back in 2000.
I don't even remember a lot of the
15, I think.
levels that I made in Mario Maker 1, but I remember some made in Mario Maker 2. And remember, like, before the online died, they did the Team 0%, where they were going to play through every single Mario Maker 1
Yeah.
level, and they did. So I know that the levels that I uploaded in Mario Maker 1, they played it now. But I know in Mario Maker 2, I have some fucked up levels that nobody still has ever beaten, I think. And now I'm like, ooh, that could be
Man, one
cool.
day.
Like,
remember
someone
Clock
is
It?
gonna beat this
It's
level.
because you're a fucking villain.
Remember
Roberto.
Clocked
That's
It's
what it is.
ridiculous levels? Like, come on, dude. Like, this is the hardest level I've ever. This is the hardest task.
Sounds like you're not a real gamer.
Like, it was all of us. We were all like, "Oh my god, dude! Like, this level's like, how demented are you, man? I know you're demented, but damn, you just made these to punish
Man, you
people.
almost killed that man.
Like, you made these levels to punish people. That's what you did.
Well,
Damn.
I went on Mario Maker 2 like a few weeks ago, and I was making a level. I didn't finish it, but one of these days I'll
I
finish
started
it.
to
Let
leg-
me know when it's up, man. Let me know.
You know what was cool?
Yeah.
So I'll give myself some more props. After each update, I would make a level and use and I named the level updates or Mario Maker update, or updates are great 1.4, updates are great 1. Whatever.
Oh,
And I was replaying them like, and I just completely made sure to use the new updated whatever they added throughout the
That's
level. And I was like, man, that was a cool idea. Like, I was so impressed with some of the things I came up with. So I feel like I haven't been that I'm not as creative as I used to be. I look back at some of my old drawings and stuff.
Back in my day, I used to
what do
have
you mean?
imagination.
That is a total lie. At the end of the day, you have look at what. When I went over at this man's house, everything in his house he made it.
That's not being
He just
creative
didn't
though.
build his house.
Was his
That
room
is being
creative?
creative.
Was
Build
his
it-
bedroom
like-
creative?
Building
The
something's
design of
just
the
like
theater- design
engineering.
of the theater-
Like
No, but no.
Creativity,
But
though.
no,
in the
creativity
end of the day,
is like making like
making a whole theater.
making
is
like a
creative.
craft. Like my aunt buys these like plates and then she makes like these glass, like buys glass vases and makes tables out of, glues them all
That's
together.
called
These
being
cool
resourceful.
stuff.
That's not the same thing.
She's crafty. I've seen people make all kinds of cool stuff, and I'm like,
For sure, but don't put yourself down, man. That
I
theater
mean,
room is designed. You
it's
designed the
amazing, but
theater room
it's
design.
an engineering design. It's not really.
No, not all of it. The place, in terms of the color and what you like, it's
Yeah.
all envisioning.
Well, thanks, but
It's
it's
creative.
different for me. That's a different
Everyone's
skill.
so creative.
Like,
I just want Mario Maker 3 back just for that again, man. Like we're all, I know we were all gonna go back into it, making levels.
Remember
and
the-
shit again? I want that back.
remember the
No,
online
we're
experience?
gonna wait for T's level for 6 months.
Remember when we played online on Switch and it was the laggiest?
Oh my god. So
I
weird.
made that cool level, that racing level, where you had to stay in the
Yeah.
lower path was the quickest. If you held the jump button a little too high, you'd go up, and then you couldn't get back down. And it should have guaranteed, that you were the fastest. And barely, like I checked it like years later, and it was like 10 people had played. It was an online specific. I made it specifically, tagged it for online multiplayer, and that was the downside of Mario Maker 2. It just the community
Yeah,
wasn't
if
the
they make
same.
it 3, they need that online better, man, because that lag was nuts.
Well, the online, that, but also because there's like more levels out there, more users. Like it just,
Well, then
It-
there wasn't the Miiverse community. It was just people.
Miiverse community. Yeah,
Somebody
there's a whole
complained. They're
thing
like,
where
"Oh, it must be nice. You got 100 people play your levels." Because of my, the followers I had because of the podcast. I was like, "Yeah, you're right. If you only have 1-2 people play your level, and which I experienced late in Mario Maker 2, I uploaded a couple levels that I thought were some of my best, and 5 people played them within the first couple months, and it's like, they gotta do something. I don't know.
They need to bring back Miiverse, man. They need to bring back Miiverse.
Robert, you're still gonna be banned.
There's a Miiverse connection in this playtest.
It would crack me up if Robert, if they bring back Miiverse and Robert's still banned. He can't.
Oh, I'd be devastated.
And we holding that. You're holding bans from like.
It is the same network ID, so man.
That's why I said it.
They might actually have me still banned.
That's why I said it. I'm concerned.
It is gonna.
Man.
It's weird to see my like old Nintendo Network ID Terminator Juice or with the nickname T Juice T__ Juice. It was weird to see that again tied to my Nintendo. Like see my Terminator Juice. They definitely didn't carry that over.
No, well, you still have to log when you log into your Nintendo account. It is still the Nintendo Network ID. It's still that's why they still.
I don't think it says
carry
Terminator Juice anywhere on the Switch though. When I'm online, it's whatever you create your nickname. You can make it.
right,
Remember, I complained about that was a big complaint of Wii U. Is like I'm playing Mario Kart and you got Dad, you got Joe. It's like everybody. You could have 100 people with the same name. It's like, where's my Nintendo Network ID? Like, why?
Yeah.
That's what I want to see when the race is over. I don't want to see Dad and Joe. Like that's stupid. But
yeah, no, absolutely.
you don't feel like you have any like online like presence with the Nintendo, like your avatar, your name, your what do they call it? Your gamer tag. So
yeah.
Other than that,
hopefully that they did. I forgot we did. The backwards compatibility was announced, and the Switch Online also, which I'm not 100% sure what they means by that, but
it's
I guess they just mean
you're gonna pay for online. You're gonna get these NES games, Super NES games.
But do you think they're gonna bring all that?
I think everything that's there now is
already
gonna be
there.
there.
That's what I'm
everything's being carried
So
over.
those
and I like that, and like the whole avatar thing that they do. You create your icons and shit. I'm guessing that's gonna be included too.
your 15 N64 games will be there from day one.
Don't hate. +2. 15 +2. They'll bring.
Well, there's only like 100 total N64.
And they
Yeah.
come with online, man. Like you gotta give them that.
What about
Like,
your,
Yeah.
what
they
about your
added, like,
50,
online to
what
all
about your
that
50
stuff.
Sega titles? How dare you, man?
They're not
Online
giving
don't
more
work
Sega
very well
titles because
for
Sega is
like,
thinking they're gonna remaster
region.
everything.
But I think the online version still worked. You just can't buy like the original games.
Like I said a while ago, I said Nintendo has to do full backwards compatibility because the Xbox One to Series X, PS4 to PS5 showed just how seamless it can be and how nice it is especially for like T and Robert, like all those Xbox games you can play with just your Series X hooked up, not have to have like 3 legacy consoles hooked up. And
you know that you can't play this backwards compatible.
No, I didn't know that.
Halo. I was stunned.
It's on Xbox One backwards compatible, I believe.
You know why? It's because they have the Halo Master Chief Collection, and they want you to buy that instead.
Yeah, we're doing that game. Okay, gotcha.
It's free. Yeah, it's free on Game Pass. That's not free.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot it's free on Game Pass.
It's free. Call of Duty's free now. You just got to pay $240 a year for it instead of the $60 you were paying. $70 plus $50 for $60 for gold online. So it's actually more expensive. But it's funny how that price keeps going up, and I don't hear anybody talk about it that would talk about any time if Sony's raised the price of something.
Like, I remember people did say that well, when Call of Duty comes, they're obviously going to bump it up a little bit at least.
It's already bumped up.
They did raise the price though.
Yeah.
It's what, $20 a month now? For Ultimate or 18?
Oh, for Ultimate. Yeah, for Ultimate, I think it is.
That was $15 when I last had it.
Oh, let me double check.
Yeah, there's more games on there, but
I don't pay for Ultimate. Let's see.
I used to pay for the basic Sony one, but that was just to play Overwatch, and now you don't need it for Overwatch anymore.
That's
so
nice.
I ain't paying for that shit no more.
I'm more surprised you pay for it for Overwatch in general.
That's a sexy ass skin.
I know why. Because you damn sure gonna play Overwatch too.
I paid PS4 for like the year because I saw like at some half price. Like I actually don't.
No, it's $22.99.
$22.99. Jesus Christ.
For Ultimate, yeah, it's $22.99. But you get the EA Play membership included.
That don't mean.
Oh my god.
So you can play every Madden.
I don't know, man. I know like I play games differently, obviously, but like
at some point, like, what's the price going to be where I gotta stop listening to people say it's such a good value? That's $275 a year. Plus,
hey man,
you have to still buy the games that don't go to Game Pass, which is still quite a few.
I would suggest
games.
don't look up the recipe. Don't look up the recipe then, because they talk about it a lot. About
Who's
the
that?
quality of
Is that a podcast?
He used to be a Red Knight of sorts.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Well,
is he still making content or what?
Yeah. I saw something like, what was it, like a
$275 a year, plus you still gotta buy any Capcom game, any like major third-party game that's not on Game Pass. I mean, you better just love playing games all the time. Otherwise, you're just throwing your money away at that point. Because I'm sorry, most people.
Time to play so much that's worth it all the time. Like
you could say, well, that's the price of 4 games, basically.
Yeah, but not only that, but it's got to be like it's got to be like current games. So you have to play day one, to be honest, to make it worth it. And then you have to that means you're constantly like ripping through games that are typically big, and like again, like if it's not day one or within the first like 3 to 5 months, I think it makes no sense. At that point, like, bro, all these games go down in price so drastically.
Yeah,
I would say the strategy would be to wait till multiple games that you're looking, but still, then you got to pay to beat multiple games. You might have to wait. You might take 2-3 months of having it to get through the games you want, and I mean, I guess if you do it right, you could like finish 3, 4, or 5 games for $60, 60 whatever something dollars if you did it right. But most people, I'm sure, just get the subscription. Like my Amazon Prime, I meant to cancel that a year ago, and I still have it. It's nice
thank you for your money.
But I use it though. I was watching Battlestar Galactica on Prime Video, rewatching, I should say, and then Thursday Night Football's on there, so it's like. But I could live without it, honestly. But I kind of, it's nice to have that same next day shipping and stuff when you need it. So, but still, they got me. I mean, that price has gone up too. I think that's like $15, $16 a month now. It used to be $10. But it just depends, because I guarantee you, I don't have any facts. I don't think Microsoft would ever let us know. But in my mind, and this is just my theory, personal theory, I don't think I've heard anyone else say this. I feel like the majority of Game Pass guys that pay for it every month and praise it, they probably play each game an hour, 2 hours. Try this game for an hour, 2 hours. Maybe they stick with the game, maybe they don't. I feel like they're just pulling might as well try this game, might as well download this game. It's new, let me try it. Maybe you will find a diamond in the rough. Maybe you will fall in love with the game. But I just, in my heart, I feel like most people download the game, play it for an hour or two, and never touch it again. That's what I feel.
It's a rental service. Yeah. It's a rental.
And it's just one of those. It's a bragging right.
So much money.
I don't see that, honestly.
$250 a year for that.
None of my feed is filled. I don't see any more Pro, Xbox Pro, PlayStation guys. It just doesn't. I feel like most people have left Twitter now. I don't. My following section barely gets updated, so I have to go to the what do they call it, suggested for you section.
You're talking about the for you section,
just to get any kind of variety, because I can scroll through my followers in like 5 minutes and I'm caught up. But it's just
I got to be fair. Sony and Xbox players have been kind of depressed lately. Through all the,
I used to see
the wonderful news that's been coming out.
Hating, right?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I'd be curious to just look at some of these channels of what they're saying. I mean, especially PlayStation just came out with another. We got to reevaluate. They didn't talk about it last week. They're like, we gotta get involved more early in the development and have like not test screenings, but test sessions with gamers to feel like, or to find out if it's heading in the right direction and catch stuff before it's too late. Like, no shit. I bet you if you tested Concord 2 years ago before you dumped that extra 200 million, according to reports, and listen to the feedback instead of letting the people who made the game, who's all butthurt and obviously too close to listen to any feedback, just attacking the feedback they were getting. Obviously, not everybody's is nice about it. Most people aren't nice about it, I should say. But if enough people are saying, "Hey, this game's just boring," or "This game sucks," "These character designs suck," don't just attack them. Like, so Sony was saying, "Yeah, we need to early in development. We need to have more play testing, this and that." I'm like, no shit. Like, you shouldn't have to do that for every game, really. Mm-hmm. But even if it's just like, hey, here, sign this NDA, bring in 20 people, just give us your thoughts on the game. Be honest. There's no penalty. Like, you're not going to get not asked again. We want your honest opinion. That's probably a good idea when you're spending $300 million, on a game that or 400, whatever the report was for Concord. And so then they said
they shut down the damn studios, man.
And then honestly, I rewatched the Firehawk Studios little thing they got at that State of Play. I don't have any sympathy for them. Those guys that were talking.
That's crazy.
Just now that I know what the game was, either they were just obviously they were there
to sit there and lie.
I felt like I don't even know if they thought it was a bad game. That's scarier. If they thought it was a good game, that's even scarier. Or they were just like, they knew the game sucked and they just.
Well, but I didn't hear. But the thing is, I didn't hear the game sucked. I just heard that it's very. It just.
It's not sucked, but it's just.
It's not good.
Generic, like.
It's mediocre.
They didn't
it's
try
hard as hell these days making like a game as a service thing these days. People are gonna get hooked. Everybody has this shit.
Listen. If they wanted real quality, they should have looked at Days Gone. That's
man. What are you doing?
Well, I mean, certain like the first Descendants doesn't look great to me, but that has a pretty good user. I think it was in the 100,000 or maybe 50,000 daily people on there. Another game came out, and it's like, so you can do it, but to put all your eggs in that basket with
it's
that
also
game,
different. Like the first Descendants wasn't a hero shooter, I don't believe. Like it like
it's a looter shooter, but with like,
why are you doing that?
And it's like your character designs. I watched a guy who just like, I don't care. I'm not in the political bullshit. He said, I'm just a designer. I'm going to break down these characters from a designer's mindset. And he just showed how these characters from a distance, you can't tell. This person's supposed to be the quick, speedy, like, character. They're like a tank. They look like a tank character, and they're supposed to be like a fast, teleporting character. Then this character's supposed to be like this grunt, like the tank character, and it's like a small, like there's no visual cue that hey, this character actually is this type of player, whatever characteristic. And then just in the pleasingness of the design, the colors, like one character is just like the most boring, like light army green, almost from head to toe. There's no contrast. There's no alternate color, or what do they call it? Complementary colors. I went to art school every year till high school, till I graduated. From like six, and I learned about freaking complementary colors. I still use it today. I mean, Robert, you saw my theater room, like that's complementary colors, and those aren't really colors, but my kitchen, there's colors that go good together that just are pleasing to the human eye for whatever reason, and then just to ignore all that and just like make these, and the shapes didn't look from a distance is like, what the hell is that? Like this is what. These games, this is what Team Fortress does. This is what Overwatch does. Look at how this character is so easily identifiable in a silhouette. Look at this character. Mm-hmm. They put two Concord silhouettes, and you couldn't barely tell the two apart. This is like, it's just bad design. But anyway, Sony also said they want to like look at cost cutting, and it's like.
You mean making games at affordable prices?
Another studio, and they never released the game.
Maybe we should stop losing money on our games. Let's start with that.
Who's the guy in the room saying that part?
That's the smart guy. I want to be that guy.
We said it. I mean, we've been saying it. You just be happy with Astrobot selling 1.5 million copies.
No, man, because we can't replicate that.
The big thing and what they said, and it makes sense.
They're gonna fire that studio soon.
No,
I hope not. But what made sense is that it was like 37% of players that bought that game haven't bought a Sony first party game in the past 2 years. And why? Is because it's a different genre from everything else you've been releasing, so it creates a new audience. Duh. Well, of course. Like what did you think that was gonna happen? Like it makes no sense.
It's
to me.
still sad though when you got 65 million install base and 1.5 is like a positive.
But
welcome to the Wii U.
Oh no, you didn't say that.
I mean, that's still a lot, though.
I mean, if they made more lower budget games that all they need to do is sell 500,000 copies to be profitable, then that's.
I feel bad for those platform fans who enjoyed Astrobot and I'll be like, I can't wait for the next one, and then you wait 8 years and you're like,
they don't take them that long.
No, but it might take them that long to put it out if they don't care.
8 years is generous.
No, I think regardless, I mean, Team Asobi has been one that's actually been consistent in the past few decades, so we'll see. You know what I mean?
And I mean,
it's up to Daddy Sony. I want that to be stated, okay?
For sure, but seems like they're okay with what happened.
And speaking of Concord, though, apparently, what just came out? Oh, Dragon Age, the Veilguard. That's a weird situation because I brought this up to T last week. We didn't really get into it. 3 companies own like almost every game site. 3 companies own almost every game site out there that's like not an independent YouTuber. Like all the big IGNs, GameSpots, Eurogamer, all those are owned by 3 companies. And there was this weird like pro Dragon Age push until like the numbers, not officially, but some reports started coming out, and then all of a sudden everything went quiet. Like they were just it's almost like EA just said, "Fuck, we're paying all these places to praise this game and stuff and try to hype it up." Somebody was posting like, "Oh my god, this game's selling so well," and then like somebody looked at the Steam numbers and they were just like 50,000, then it was like 30,000, it was like 20,000, then it was, I forget what it dropped down to, and it's like there was a bunch of refunds for the game on Steam. I think that's.
Well, to be fair though, you also might be gaming because in the end of the day, like the user reviews for that game on Steam is mostly positive. Like people are enjoying the game.
That's true. That could be,
like,
but I'm saying like
the ones where it's negative is where is it? Metacritic, where people.
But the thing is, it was beyond just like positive reviews. It was like, oh my god, this game sounds. Oh, the thing about the positive reviews though that was suspect is that someone was reading through like the tagline from all these reviews, and I think it was like 7 or 8 of them. They all said, a triumphant return to form for BioWare. Next one, a triumphant return to form for BioWare. A return to form for BioWare. This is a true return to form for BioWare. They all, like 7 or 8 of them said the same thing, and it's like that had to have been on part of the free code. Like, hey, make sure to say this in your review, because then one of the developers who made the game, he's like, I'm really hoping this is a true return to form for us with this game, and I'm like, that's some shady ass shit there now. But either way,
sure.
Apparently the users dropped off and there was a bunch of refunds. I don't know if it,
You said, but I just looked up the Steam charts and they're pretty much the same as what they've been actually. Like if you go on the Steam charts,
does it show
right now,
how
like,
many?
It says 38,000 were playing 18 minutes ago with a
Okay,
47,000 24-hour peak.
That ain't too bad.
And in the 24-hour peak, and the all-time high is 60,000. That makes sense. You know, it's not like it's dropped off.
Yeah, it's not Concord levels. Maybe it wasn't Concord.
No. Hold on.
That's a wild.
This is a good selling game, dude. This is a single player.
Oh, I
game
think
that
it was Suicide Squad. It was close to. That's what it was. It was similar numbers.
Yeah, no,
it's a different type of game
Squad,
though. That was an online.
Suicide Squad is like is
online.
One that relies on user base.
Yeah.
You know, and Dragon Age is a single player game that, like, you know.
But I thought it was. I saw the clip. I don't even know it was a clip, a short or something. I'm like, if that's true, if that, like, all those reviewers said the exact same phrase, then that's a little shady. But either way, the game looks like
I think there's
garbage.
a lot of agenda for Dragon Age in terms of haters. Again,
I would say the agenda lies
in
in the writing, though. I would say there's
a
a reason people are against. I've seen. It's not just the agenda stuff. It's just legit bad writing in general, not just the agenda driven stuff.
To be fair though, and I mean, that's, you know,
a lot of games don't have great dialogue.
A lot of these BioWare writing is like this is just how it works. But it just also, in the end of the day, like review bombing, the way people are, you know, the woke shit and stuff, and review by, and that's why I will never ever take user reviews and Metacritic seriously. I've made a whole video.
I never have. I don't know who ever has.
It always is either a 0 or a 10. There's no in between. It's the same damn thing. You can't take that.
I don't know why it's even a thing where people even ever took it as anything. Like, I think,
dude, people always say, well, that's the thing. That's my problem with reviews in general, is that people say, all these reviews are stupid. Like, okay, why are people so hung up on, oh, I can't believe IGN gave Mario and Luigi a 5, and it's like, and I'm like, and it's like, and my thing is like, if they gave it a 7, they'd be like, what a good review, IGN. Good job. But if it's a 5,
it's a 5 though.
How can you be so against these other people? And it's like, and my thing is like, it's like you can't have any other. Everyone has to have the same mindset apparently. And it's like,
I don't know though. When you're one outlier though, it's just like you had the wrong person. You're representing IGN. Who'd they give that review to? That's like everyone else is like 8s and 9s, and it's like you're the 1-5. Like, it's just. Who did they give that to? That almost like if I reviewed the game, I'd probably not like it.
IGN's done that before.
Because it's always been an issue with reviews anyway. You got one person whose review represents your entire company.
Yeah, I know. Well, that's, I mean.
But when there's always an outlier, like GameSpot used to do it just for clicks. Like, they gave Tropical Freeze a 6 out of 10. That's ridiculous. Like, there's no world where that's a 6 out of 10. There's just no scenario where that's a legit 6 out of 10. They gave it an 8.5 or something on Switch, the same game, but it was a different reviewer. It was just the same site. And it's just like somebody just doesn't connect with the game. It's just a flawed system because that person didn't connect with the game. That represents IGN, and it's like, you know?
But hold on a second though. You say that, but in the end of the day, like, according to this reviewer, I mean, we got, you know, that's what he that person was a fan of the franchise, and he was just disappointed.
Really?
Is he someone that would? Yeah, but that's my thing, is it's because we are seeing something else. We're like, oh, but why does he think that way? That's not fair. It doesn't make sense. He's dragging down the review score. Like, people take it so
literal,
like,
because it's confirmation
well, they always
bias.
have.
Like
it's always like that. And so it's like, and like, oh, IGN's stupid, blah blah blah. But go to someone who's a big fan of some other franchise that got a 9 out of 10. Finally, IGN did a good review. God damn, we've been waiting forever.
Well, the joke is IGN gives almost everything a 7.
And then you give, then they
Unless
give
it's a
something
Sony
else.
game, then it gets a
They'll
10.
give something else a 7 or a 6 or something, because everyone thinks 7 is bad. They're like, wow, can't believe IGN would give that 7. They're so stupid.
They give
And that
everything.
same person will go to another one that gave it a 9 and be like, I can't believe they give it. See, they're finally right for something. A guy who hasn't even played the game yet is saying this to a guy that did play the game and reviewed it. People are fucking pussies when it comes to reviews.
This is
They're
why
so
I just
stupid.
haven't. I've read a single fucking review in my life. I don't give a shit what people have to say about games I want to play. I don't care about your opinion.
Yeah.
Not even the facts. I don't care.
That's so
If I
weird to
see
me
a
because
trailer,
it's
then
like,
I'll play
But
a
some
game.
people want.
That's
I mean,
it.
but the reality is, people want confirmation bias.
it's not in
A game
confirmation
that you're
bias.
excited-
Exactly. They want to feel good about their like.
Yeah, well,
What
yeah.
do you mean? What do you mean you don't like the game I don't like? Why is no one like the game I like? Like,
It's just the idea is that you want to feel good that the game that you're excited about is actually reviewing well, so you can then be like, see, it's a great game. It confirms that your opinion is correct on a game, essentially.
And
Man,
it
if that
unfortunately
was the
creates like
case,
a
then-
legacy for that game. You know, like it will be known as the game that's really good. It'd be known as the game that's really
Yeah.
bad. It'd be known as the game that's okay, mediocre. And so then you have, that's why you kind of have to separate yourself. So it's like, and then you have the whole other side, which is the user reviews, which are just completely ridiculous and make no sense at all.
Luigi has a slightly smaller mustache. 0 out of 10.
It's like it'll be either a 0 or it'll be a 10. Maybe like 10,
Famous
10, 10.
review with the 7.8. Too much water or some shit for the Pokemon game.
I know that was
Yeah,
ridiculous. But again, like in
It's still
the
IGN.
But it makes
It's
for
always gonna be
it
fucking
makes for
IGN.
something you'll never forget, though. That's why I can't be too mad at
I
it.
mean, let me ask you guys.
I can.
This
Disrespectful.
like it's just so dope because like especially these user reviews, they're always so hilarious to me.
My
Like,
mom bought
See,
the
that's-
game for me.
that's where I'm
and we couldn't
retro
install
on-
it in the PlayStation.
Look,
0 out of 10.
I've never read
I mean,
a
but
user
people
review
are
in my life.
oh,
I don't.
see, the thing is that
User
the
reviews are
users are right.
hilarious though.
no, but so the thing that people be like, oh, the users are right, man, because it's a higher score, but so it's what they believe in. And then we listen. This is from a Swagger guy who says he gave Mario Luigi a 10 out of 10. Why? Good game, great combat, very enjoyable exploration and side quests that I enjoy a lot. 10 out of 10. Amazing review, sir. Thank you for your in-depth
See,
analysis on why you gave it.
I think this is a pointless.
That's a
That's a pointless
pointless.
conversation because
It
who
means
cares about
nothing.
user reviews? But I find the
But
Metacritic.
people do. That's the thing. That's the
Pretty
problem.
I would
famous,
honestly,
technically,
I
yeah.
would.
User reviews are always.
I
fun,
wouldn't
like-
listen to anybody who
Yeah,
like
hilarious.
trusts who's ever like legitimate, seriously checked user reviews like for like to find out if a game's good.
Unfortunately, if you go on Twitter, you will have people that be like, man, the critics don't know what they're talking about. The user reviews are better. You know, like people believe that stuff. And
Kind of
and
like
you look at it and-
Last Jedi.
yeah.
I
But
mean, if
here's
everybody agreed with what I said and the review was correct, then y'all all would have played Forspoken from the beginning to end.
hey,
man,
I
I'm
played the
going to
demo.
play that one day.
I'm waiting for
I
it to
played
be a
the
good
demo
game
and
before I
So
get
here's
it.
why I like Metacritic over anything else. I'm not talking user reviews; those don't exist to me.
Doesn't
Because
matter.
that gives you, just because IGN gave Mario and Luigi's a 5, that didn't drop the score down to a
Exactly.
5. It maybe didn't even drop, maybe 0.1 if depending on how many reviews there are. So you really get a better gauge of like what's the general consensus here. Yeah, this person gave it a 10, this person gave it a 5, but generally speaking, this game's got an 80 out of 100. That means, you know, a lot of that's not a like I think I brought this up with T last week. Rotten Tomatoes is just like, oh, they think it's a C or above. It's 99% positive, but 99% say it's a C or above. Doesn't mean 99% think. All of them could think it's a C, and it's a 99%. It's a stupid rating system. With Metacritic,
Well, I'll say
it's like legit.
that's why Rotten Tomatoes is also ruining the what numbers mean in terms of individual numbers.
Yeah.
Because if you people like, oh, it's a 95%, but it's got a 62 on Metacritic is what it is. But if people heard that, they'd be going outraged.
Yeah, 'cause
what
they
do you
think-
mean it's got a 62?
Well,
you know what I mean?
I
So-
think Rotten Tomatoes was the worst thing to happen to the film industry. And I'll tell you, the last time.
think also to the reviews, because a lot of people, it's school and Rotten Tomatoes have fucked up the review system because people don't think of individual numbers as individual reasons. They think of as blocks of things like 7 to 10. No, not even actually. 9 to 10 is good. 8 to below is bad, and they're like, wait, no, that's not how it works. Everything means something.
I'll say
different.
when a game has a 70 or below on Metacritic, then I'm gonna like, all right, I need to like listen to what people are saying is good or bad, you know. But anyway, getting back to the Rotten Tomato, does anybody know when Man of Steel released in theaters? I know Retro probably knows the exact date.
2013?
Yeah, it was 2013.
Dude, Robert's talking about this Game of the Year video of 2021. I can't name a fucking single game that came out in 2021.
Yeah. 2013.
What do you mean? There's not a.
2013, Man of Steel launched. That's the last time I paid attention to Rotten Tomatoes before I went to a movie, and I would say that's the last time I feel like reviews have affected me. I look at them completely different now. I know you guys, I've heard, I know Retro clocked it. Like, I don't understand why you watch reviews, listen to reviews before movies and games come out. And it's like, I won't, if somebody's like giving spoilers to movies and stuff, they lose my trust. I'd never watch them again. But 2013, I go to see
Like a
Man of
woman who
Steel.
cheated on you.
I went and seen Man of Steel with all the points already in my head of what people were saying was bad about that movie, and I let it influence me. And I was arguing with Red Knight and T about the movie like years later, a couple years later. I'm like, oh, he doesn't save anybody. They're like, what are you talking about? He saved the whole planet. He saved billions of people. Throughout the movie, he saves multiple people, like clearly on screen, but the narrative was he didn't save anybody except Lois Lane. And I'm like, as soon as they pointed out that, I rewatched the movie. I'm like, are you kidding me? How was I so wrong about that? But literally, that was the last time. I don't even check Rotten Tomatoes even for fun. But with game reviews and like Jeremy John's reviews, I didn't know Gladiator 2 was a real movie. I thought it was a fake trailer like months ago. I didn't know that was a real movie, and there's a review out for it from him and Chris Stuckman. I'm like, oh, that's a real movie. That
I keep seeing those trailers in my YouTube ads. Really posters all over town for that movie.
They actually think that there's a coliseum where they filled it with an ocean and have ships. Like, that's so I thought that was fake. It looks so stupid. But that's a real movie, so it blew my mind.
When are you gonna go watch it then?
And I think, just getting off topic, but people always taking, well, why'd this movie fail? Why are these movies failing? Well, no one wants to go out of the house. How do you know? How do you find out that a new movie's being made or coming out? Other than trailers, I don't hear about that from any source.
Usually it's just word of mouth, like somebody else will bring it up.
I don't even know, to be honest with you. I think it's a mixture of just social media, and I go to the movies a lot. So
if it's something I care about, I will hear about it.
Yeah, I'm like on Twitter. Honestly, I didn't know Alien Romulus was a thing until I saw people posting on the trailer. The new trailer dropped on Twitter whenever that was earlier this year.
Yeah, see, and I've been following that for like 10 fucking years, man.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow.
There's a lot of movies that I know that I keep up with that I know, like, okay, this comes out like years from now, like just things I know. Like, do you know that Paddington Peru's coming out? Did you know that's the third Paddington?
No idea.
There's a third Paddington, but I'm worried about it because it's not the same director as the first two, and that worries me.
Honestly, I've had YouTube Premium for like 2.5 years. I don't watch football's the only really like TV I watch. I haven't seen one movie trailer other than I just happened to see people talk about it on Twitter and go watch it on YouTube in years. Like,
I had a great review for you, Juice, on Alien Romulus. I'm just saying. You like reviews.
So here's how I look at reviews now. That's completely changed from 2013. I'm not listening to whether they like the movie. I'm not listening to they like the game. I'm listening to them describe like gameplay elements, or how, let's say, like Stellar Blade, for instance. Someone say, oh, this is how the mission structure works. It's not an open world like some people thought. You have a hub area, you take on missions, and you can go out in these bigger open areas, and you have your combat, and you have your side missions, and you have your main quest. I want to learn how the structure of the game is, because I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure from the trailers exactly what it was. Is it Nier Automata? Is it Bayonetta? Like, go out, you fight these enemies, and you get a score at the end. So that's the kind of stuff I'm listening for. Now, if they're like,
gotcha.
Like, yeah, this game, these side characters are just really poorly written or something, that's personal opinion. But at the same time, if they're like, if I hear enough people saying the kind of the same thing, it doesn't mean it's gonna guarantee how I'll feel. Like a lot of people said, Echoes of Wisdom's combat was boring watching your Echoes fight, and I haven't felt that at all. I actually love the Echoes fighting for me. Like I find that to be really refreshing.
Especially once you get later on the game, you can just drop fucking like 100 in there and shit.
That's just one I was like, I hear people saying that. It's a little concerning, but I'm still going to buy the game situation. But I'm not like, I don't care if someone's gushing about it. Like Marvel movies for years, people gushed about Marvel movies. Jeremy Jahns was all in with the MCU, negative for the DC. Now he's completely flipped. And I was like, I don't believe these people. Like I know this movie's not gonna be good. I was just so, maybe I was a little biased in the wrong direction. That's when they are good, I'm always surprised. But either way, so I don't listen to them. Like I'm not listening for them to tell me to buy the game. But if enough people are saying, yeah, this game's really glitchy or the combat's really janky and it's just you only get 2 moves and there's nothing, it does like Hellblade 2. There's like the combat doesn't expand. This is the combat from the beginning of the game to the end of the game. Watch a clip of the combat. I'm like, I don't care about that for 4 hours. Like I'm not. They needed to expand that combat from the first game.
You have no interest in playing that game?
Someday I'll probably maybe play it, but if it comes to PS5,
I think it bums me out because I know how much of a fan of the first game you were.
Bro, it's gonna come to PS5.
I like the first game.
It's just the lead into the second game. It just was like less and less and less excited.
I just feel for a sequel, you gotta take the foundation and you gotta flesh it out more. You gotta expand it more. You gotta have more depth. I don't want to hear it go the opposite way, where now you're not fighting 5 guys at a time. You're fighting one person all the time, one-on-one every single time with all this like very cinematic scripted animation stuff, and I'm just like, I'm not into that. So, but
no, I respect the choice. It was a sad transition.
And that's the other thing. Yeah, I know this isn't gonna. I don't want this to become a debate. But when I hear the sequels shorter than the original game, which playing it 3 times, it kind of by the end I have 20 something hours into it. But when I hear it's like 4.5 hours, I'm like, flesh this out. I wanted this to be. This is just my personal expectations for the game based on my own personal expectations. Nothing they said. I thought they had an opportunity to make this like a God of War type competition, to compete with God of War on that kind of level, not just double down on the cinematic, experience, double down on, making a really great action adventure game. So whatever. And it still has an 80 out of a Metacritic. I mean, it's not like people hated it, but I heard the things I was looking forward to. I heard what people were saying that was the opposite of what I was hoping, and I was like, I'm not interested anymore. So
I feel that
everyone's different though. I mean, I went into a couple movies blind recently, and I'm like, wow, that was really good. Like Jojo Rabbit. I have no idea what. It's like, oh, there's something about that has to do with Hitler, right? I had no idea what it was. I mean, yeah, there's something to do with Hitler, but that's all I knew, and blew me away. Hitler. So anyway,
better get canceled.
I do want to talk about this box right back here.
The Game Awards?
Oh, I forgot. When is the announcement? Let's find out when the nominees are going to be revealed. So if we had next week, if we can do it.
It might be within this week though. That's the problem.
Let me just say real quick. Not having a disc drive on a console is the dumbest purchase I ever made. But luckily, Walmart got one in stock, and it should be here tomorrow. But
something I didn't think about with that,
oh, you're cutting out. I lost you.
Am I good?
Yeah.
Am I good?
Go ahead.
Okay. Somebody at my job actually made this point, and I was like, dang, you know what? I really didn't think of that. The PS5 Pro, because it is digital by default.
Oh, cutting out.
Yeah.
You got a cord you can hold? What is it? A loose wire?
Sound guy, man. This is embarrassing.
No, it's not working, dude. You must have a loose wire.
Is that how you make your music in silence?
Oh no!
You have to have a loose wire or some kind of noise cancelling's kicking in.
Don't let him disrespect you like that. He don't know what the fuck he's talking about.
While he's saying that, I will say, as somebody who only has 3 digital games, I have Horizon Zero Dawn Remastered, I have Kena Bridge of Spirits, and I have Astra's Playroom. It really does, like, not having a disc drive. I was like, wow, after like an hour, I was like, man, I might as well just turn it off, wait till I get a disc drive. Or I was thinking of getting PlayStation Plus again just to have access to some of the games I have in my library. Like this, I guess if you went digital the entire PS4 generation, you wouldn't even think about it. But man, just not having access to like whatever the total was of games I have on PS4 and PS5 combined, like 40 something. Not having access to those.
Disrespect, retro. The amount of disrespect.
Oh, yeah. What'd you figure out? What was wrong?
Couldn't even fight back. Fight back.
What was wrong? Why was it?
Hands up or something.
Did you figure something out?
Yeah, no. What I was, no, I just moved it. I pushed it so that the cord was a little more lax. But yeah, I think it is a loose wire. But what I was gonna say is that he made this point. If you haven't jumped on to the PS5 bandwagon yet, and like you're now an adopter of the PS5 Pro, and you weren't planning on getting that disc drive, a lot of those games you have to get from the market, right?
They're full
but
price.
If you're trying to, yeah, you're getting them at full price. Like you can't.
Why you think I couldn't do PS4
games like any of that? And that's, I think that's BS for a lack of better words. But
well,
like,
they have sales. Don't get it wrong. There's price sales, but the price doesn't permanently drop unless it permanently drops, like officially, I guess. But
right.
Because I was gonna pick up Elden Ring. I was like, man, if Elden Ring Digital is like $30, I'd just get that while I wait for the disc drive so I can play the DLC.
This is the reason why.
Nope, $60.
This is the reason why I never did the PS4 digital, because I remember I told you, because I was like, I'm gonna get this Pro and I'm gonna go all digital. I think I bought like 2 games and went, oh no, this is like this shit ain't gonna cut it. Let me go get the discs, because to me, all digital works better for either A, if you're a PC owner where Steam gets sales all the time, or B, you don't buy games as soon as they come out.
It depends on the game though. If it's EA, it's still Ubisoft. You're still gonna get. I paid $11 for Jedi Fallen Order, like on digital. I do have that digitally too, so I forgot about that.
I didn't know Ubisoft games were good.
They have Prince of Persia: Lost Crown's a game of the year contender.
That's only one.
Oh yeah, it's really good.
So
how old is that game, Robert? How old is the game, Robert?
14 years only.
All right, shut the hell up.
So some other things. Look at disc-free console says right there. They want. Okay. I mean, at least they let you know, but it's worded.
It sound like it's a good thing.
Yeah.
Oh, they didn't put 8K
disc-free console
on the box this time.
Doesn't say 8K either.
Oh, it doesn't. That's surprising.
So
it better not anyway.
If you imagine,
the base one says it. Well, they used to.
If you imagine the Wii U console, the Pro's basically that with if you take the plastic off. It's way smaller than I thought. It's only like, it's like the width of a Wii U, you know, the narrow ways, maybe a few inches longer, and maybe a ½ inch thicker. Like, it's surprisingly small. I was amazed. It's like, I thought this thing was the same size as the original.
It's significantly smaller than the original PS5.
It's the same height, like standing up, but it's thinner, and depth-wise, it's like 2 inches less. It's 2 inches shorter depth-wise, and it's thinner. Like, I just bought a new TV stand. I cut the cable, like an opening for the cables, clearly hidden by the old one. I put the new one in place, and you can clearly see the cutout above the system. Like, God damn it.
Oh, wow.
The one benefit of no disc drive is this thing is dead silent. You know, Robert knows the PS5 disc. You turn the system on, you have a disc in the disc drive. It's loud. So no disc, but no coil wind. My original one has bad coil wind, so no coil wind. That was, to me, though, that right there was, you know, I probably should have got a Slim or something.
Dude, I made that video, my Halloween video about Deadly Creatures on the Wii, and I played that in the Wii U, and I forgot how the Wii U like.
Yeah, that's what I noticed too. When I almost brought that up earlier and I got distracted. Yeah, hearing disc-based system that runs off the disc is crazy. Going back to, but either way, the 2 terabytes. I forgot about the 2 terabytes. That's really nice. Like having that extra 1.2 gigs. And then having a new controller, the haptics are so much better in this new controller. I don't know if mine's just wore out or they've improved it, because this is like the 5th iteration of the DualSense. They keep doing revisions internally. I don't know what the battery life maybe is going to be longer too, but man, I was like, holy shit! I'm feeling like every little selection I'm selecting in the menus and feeling the little thump, the haptics in the triggers and stuff. So honestly, I still think it's overpriced. It should have had the disc drive for the set $699. I think it would have been fine. And I haven't been able to really test anything other than Horizon Zero Dawn Remastered, which already looked great. You know, the enhancement. It definitely looks a little bit cleaner in the frame rate mode, but I haven't had, like I said, I can't test any of the games because they're all on discs. So overall, I think it should be, like I said, with the disc drive, I think it should be $700, possibly $650. Digital should be $600. Just no question in my mind. But so far, so good. And
you got to play the fuck out of that on OLED.
I'm gonna get the disc drive hopefully tomorrow. Then I'm gonna install some Final Fantasy VII Rebirth.
Oh, really?
I've had the game for like 2 months.
Oh, you did? Did you? Do I know?
And I've been waiting for the Pro to play it, and then
really?
I might pick up Black Myth Wukong if the physical has the disc. I heard reports both ways. Somebody said it was just a box with a code. Somebody said it was the disc with all the DLC, all the updates and everything on the disc. So.
But Robert says that is a physical, though.
Yeah.
I mean, it is literally physical.
Because Black Myth PS5, they definitely had to make a lot of compromises to hit and it was a fake 60 FPS. They used frame generation, so it really doesn't feel like, it feels like 30 in your inputs, but it's looks more like 60 to your eye. So, other than that,
that's a great game. I think you'll enjoy it.
Yeah, I almost thought about just getting it, but I don't think that game's on sale. Even the physical, I'm sure, is still full price. But so yeah, I don't know how people. I'm not looking forward to a generation of digital only. Like,
yeah,
it's gonna be tough, man. They're just gonna have to say no backwards compatible. Fuck disc. We can't just screw the physical game owners with the PS6 or whatever. We just say no backwards compatibility.
You think we're gonna get a PlayStation 6?
Everybody's got to be equal. No one's getting their games brought over. Physical.
Yeah, it's true. I didn't think about that.
Unless they just continue to offer an optional disc drive that you can add on to it, that would be probably that way. The less people that want it, they just their console hopefully would be cheaper for that, and then the people that want it, they have to pay a little more. So.
And eventually they'll phase it out at some
point,
point,
everything's gonna be. There's not gonna be any physical media. So.
Oh man.
Not even taking into account that I feel like I like owning my physical games, but the fact that you can't even go to a secondhand store or a flea market and pick up a game to play, you can't do that.
That's what I'm saying. That sucks.
What you mean? Yeah, well, at least you can. You got a whole bunch of stores around.
Yeah, I got nothing by me.
You have a discless system.
Oh yeah. Okay.
That's why,
I think they literally did have it. I was like, we don't. You do.
I think this is gonna. I think somebody got mad at me when I said this back, in 2020. But I think the Series S. The 1S, the Xbox SAD or whatever, all digital.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the SAD. I forgot that was the nickname for
It's
it.
one thing to make a lower power console, but to make a digital only console, to me that was such a dumb decision. And it's trying to push people to Game Pass, but it just made Xbox physical just die even quicker than it needed to. And then it's one thing to have digital games.
Xbox physical, man. Xbox physical is done. Bro.
It's another thing to have to pay a constant fee to play these games. Like that's eventually you're not gonna be able to just buy the game by itself. You're gonna have to pay their fee to have access to games. There's gonna be a Game Pass exclusive at some point. I feel. Where you can't.
I don't know they're that ballsy to do that.
You have to have Game Pass to play this game. You can't just buy it out by itself digitally. You have that. I feel like that's the next step. And then once that floodgate opens, it's gonna be all out.
Yep.
So.
And then PlayStation have theirs, and then Nintendo will
Eventually in life.
50 years we'll do it.
At
and
some
we'll be
point,
like,
yeah.
We'll be dead. We'll all
Cutting
be
out
dead.
again, dude. You gotta be careful with that cord, man. Do you need a USB? Do I need to mail you a USB
Oh, I
cord?
didn't know this.
I feel like what I think is that Retro's over there.
Let's just leave him.
You can't see Retro's hands. He's cut Sandstorm's cord from under.
Let's just pretend like we can hear him say, "Yep, yeah, you're right."
It's like, absolutely, dude. Absolutely.
Yep, you're right on. You're right on. Ravenclaw sucks, and Gryffindor is definitely the best. Absolutely right. I got some.
I think Gryffindor is bad. Ravenclaw does suck.
Dude, I got a USB cable for that right somewhere.
What if the
Are you gonna go to his house and give it to him?
Never drop that low enough to warrant it? I guess.
What?
I mean, obviously, it's eventually going to happen, but how long do you think that will happen, though?
For what?
What, the digital stuff?
Them to move over to digital.
I think Xbox gonna have next gen.
I see Nintendo doing that.
Nintendo.
I don't see Nintendo
really
doing
hard.
that.
We're not going to be alive,
won't
bro.
do it. Nintendo won't. I'm gonna say this: of the
We'll
three
be dead.
consoles, I've probably done more digital on my Switch than anything else.
I think
Really?
Nintendo's two
Yeah.
generations from all digital.
I can see. I could.
I don't know
legit-
about
I'm telling you, I think it could
14
be like.
years about.
Wait. When you say two generations, I'm guessing the
Switch
2 or
3,
whatever.
the Switch 3 will be all digital. That's what I'm saying.
Really?
We'll see how
So
much
it's not two
storage the
generations,
Switch.
it's one then. Because we're
see
about
how
to be
much
into the
storage
Switch 2.
2 has.
Well, it ain't out yet. I think
don't know, man.
because what's going to happen is you think memory prices will go down. They're going to be the only ones that are going to be paying extra for every game because they're the only ones doing it. They're going to be like, "Oh, look how extra we can make per game by just selling digital." And look at all these game sales we get. We could add like $2 to every Mario Kart 8 deluxe sale. Just think of how much more money we'd have.
No, I get that, but like they sell a lot of physical, like Nintendo
I know.
specifically.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll
I
be
was gonna
Switch
say,
4.
the amount of games they sell physical,
Switch
like
4,
Nintendo's not gonna do that.
I could see.
The reason
could
why I
see
say that
probably
also
my
is
Switch
because even on the sales charts, they don't include digital. It's the weirdest
Yeah.
thing. They're the only company that doesn't include digital sales, but they still are on the top because it's all of the physicals. So like
I also
they-
just see Nintendo, like, as a company, even with the leadership they have now, they're a fun company. They want that stuff out there in the stores. I feel like a digital-only world to them seems like very morose. I don't see them doing that shit.
Yeah, that means you're not in
telling-
the
I think
stores
we
as
will be
much.
dead
Come
when they
buy
do
our
that.
game. Where? On our platform, not here.
yeah. They like the physical. They like the amiibo. They like the Alarmo. They like, They like the physical stuff. They want things around you to be Nintendo.
Mhm.
Not
That's what
just
I'm
to be-
thinking.
Go
Yeah.
check out Robert's review of the Alarmo, guys. Go check that out.
Check out my video.
Hey man, for you, if you don't self-promote, I got you, man. I got you.
But that is true. I mean, like seriously, like they're all about physical items and having you being able to touch.
They want to touch their gamers. Come on, man.
Awesome.
Oh, I ain't doing that. We ain't doing none of that.
And that's why I think, especially considering like who, like how long these employees stay at Nintendo, like whoever's gonna be the leader, the CEO in like 30 years from now already works in Nintendo. You know what I mean? So whoever is the CEO already
That's
works.
probably
in Nintendo.
true. I would agree with that.
Sandstorm.
Like
Wii U Pro Controller charge cable works perfect for that microphone. Just
You
saying.
know what? And as amazing as that is, guess what I don't have?
You don't have a
That
Wii U
Pro-
Pro.
I do have a Pro controller, but I use my charging cable from the Switch as that.
No, you should stop.
Shouldn't.
Oh,
It is-
Wii U Pro controller. No.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
Wii U
don't
Pro
have a
controller. It's got the old.
I don't have a Wii.
It's
Pro
always
controller
got the.
either.
It's got the old mini USB, not even the. Or is this
Listen, y'all
micro?
gotta get away from
It's
the
mini.
Yetis,
I don't know where
man.
that is.
Mini
I'm gonna upgrade from the
USB.
Yeto.
It's not even micro. It's the.
Sensor, you're using a Yeti mic, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta
Can't
move
see
on
it.
from that, bro.
Yeah.
No, hold on.
using a
Like,
Yeti.
This is
I
the best
got a Yeti
mic. This is
No,
the best
It's not.
mic.
It's not.
Yeah, it
It's
is.
fine.
Nah.
It is.
I'm
Why?
using my Elgato mics, baby. Elgato mics.
Man, we
That's
ain't
the life
no,
I'm living.
ain't no
Audience,
hype-
Donnie, who sounds
Hey,
who
how
sounds
you
crisper
mute-
and clearer.
How you mute your mic?
Right here.
I'm just tapping. Tap.
I
You
just
know,
tapped
you
it.
know how
A few
I-
times there,
I
man.
I tapped it.
You know how I mute my mic? I just wiggle this little cord thing.
Yeah. Watch this, Terrell. Watch this. See? Watch. I'm muting it.
Oh, I just got.
Oh wow. That's
Is
so
that
much
like-
more intuitive.
You're telling me, Terrell.
That's an
Terrell, you're
Apple
telling me
product
instead of a
thing.
button,
It's not no Apple product.
That's something
crap.
Apple would rave about. Apple fanboys.
It's not even a big deal. That's not even my thing. The main thing is the audio mixing software. I love the shit out of that. Elgato software is goated just for that reason alone.
So what do you guys think Game of the Year is going to be?
Black
Say what?
Wukong, for me, at least.
I'm going to
I don't think it's
say
actually gonna be really
I haven't been playing any 2024 games. I don't know.
there's 6 games that they do, right? I think.
Oh yeah, we're talking
I-
nominees.
You gotta go on Metacritic for that.
No,
to see,
you don't
like,
have to.
the
I
hype.
thought you didn't. After all these reviews,
I think
today.
it's going to be.
Yeah, but that's
Zelda
those are
would be
the
on there.
games of the year. Like that.
Do you think
that-
Echoes of
fine.
Wisdom will be on?
No,
Yes.
I think so.
Yes.
I don't think so.
What other Nintendo game are you putting on there? Because
I don't think that. Why y'all think there's gonna be a Nintendo? I don't know why y'all think there's gonna be a Nintendo game on there in the first place.
A Nintendo game has to be on
new
there.
Zelda
No, it
game.
doesn't. What do you mean? What?
No.
That's
it doesn't.
never been true.
It has to be
Most
on
of the
there.
time we
for
get
me.
ignored even when we deserve to be on there. The fuck?
I'm going to
Well,
say.
they actually get nominated most years. They do get nominated most years, but
I'm going to say
not the
Echoes.
Wait, it's
I
not
mean,
a
okay,
requirement. Is my point.
I'm saying Echoes of Wisdom is nominated. Final
They have
Fantasy
to
VII
nominate it 'cause
Rebirth.
they're sexist, so that's good for us.
7 Rebirth.
Rebirth will be on there.
Sexism wins again.
Final
Little
Fantasy
Black
VII
Myth.
Rebirth will be on there.
Oh, it will be for
Astro
sure.
Bot will be on
I
there.
think Black Myth is on there.
You
legit.
think Astrobot?
Black Myth will not be on there, and it makes no sense to be on there. That would be the lowest Metacritic nominee ever. So
What?
it makes no sense to
What's
be
the
on there.
Metacritic?
Like an 80.
They had a
I
set.
think it's,
Control had an
Garbage
82.
now.
82 exactly, so it's lower.
I
It'd be
think
even
it
lowest?
makes it.
And
I don't think it will, even though he did tweet about its success. I don't think it meets Jeff Keighley's standards of. I mean, came from China, and there's.
They're probably. What about Five Faces and Rebirth?
That's why I said Rebirth will be there 100%.
It's gonna be Astrobot, Metaphor, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Animal
Ooh.
Like a Dragon.
I'd be surprised if Like a Dragon's on there.
That's an 89. If they ignore that,
I'm
it's
not saying it's
stupid.
not, but like it wouldn't
They
surprise.
literally
You know what?
can't ignore it.
No, I'll
And
change my
it might
statement.
be
They might
Star Wars.
put-
I wouldn't be surprised
You know
if they
what?
forced.
Honestly,
No, they might actually put Zelda on there. I'm be real with you. This year wasn't really.
Zelda
I
might
think
not be
Zelda
on there,
makes
man.
it.
Zelda might not be on there.
I don't
But
see
you know
what
what?
else you
Will
put
they
up
put
there.
both Final Fantasy VII and Metaphor on there? Will they do two?
I don't know if they're
two-
gonna put Metaphor.
What?
I
game
think Metaphor
came out-
deserves to be up there. I don't know. if they'll
Did
put it
Nintendo
up
have a game that came out last year that didn't meet that?
there. Wait, in like
Tears
December
of
or
the King-
something?
Last year was that Tears of the Kingdom last year?
No,
Yeah.
yeah,
No, there's-
Tears of the Kingdom
yeah.
was
No,
last year.
No, December and stuff. No, there was nothing in December.
Nothing
that
in
would be like-
December.
not that I remember.
No.
That would be.
There aren't. To be fair, there aren't a lot of high end games for 2024, and that would be considered Game of the Year material anyway. So
There
it's
would be.
probably-
What about
Bro, I didn't
Helldivers,
even
too?
find it. I didn't even find it. Bro, Astrobot 94, Metaphor 94.
What about at
Overworld,
Helldivers?
91.
I would be surprised if they put Astrobot up there. I'll be real.
Helldivers.
You
could
really
be
don't. They're absolutely putting Astrobot. That's a money in the.
Well, it's
hat.
Jeff
Bro,
Keighley. He loves
highest
Sony.
rated game of the year.
He
Yeah.
loves
That's the only reason
Sony.
why I would. That's the only reason why I would think that might be viable.
I think it's because
Absolutely.
Jeff Keighley loves Sony is the main reason it would be there.
Yeah, Sony would be the only reason why it would
I
actually
guess,
be up
but
there.
also, I mean, how you can't have the highest rated game of the year? That's crazy.
Man,
There's no-
please. When has the Game Awards ever made full sense?
I wouldn't be shocked if they.
I don't think there's been a year that they haven't put the highest rated game of the year in there. Like we'd have to go back, but every year, like, I mean, bro, last year Baldur's Gate, the year before that, let's go back in order. Was it 2022? Okay, I can't remember, but I know it's definitely on there.
I'm,
Damn.
It would have been.
Damn.
What one?
Was it God of War?
Was it New Leaf or what else came in that?
New Leaf.
Animal Crossing.
New Horizons.
New Horizons.
2020. No, that's 2020.
That's
But
2020.
I thought that was
2022. 2022 was. What the fuck was 2022?
Oh, they pulled out the 3DS.
What do you? Oh, that's Horizon.
Elden Ring.
Elden Ring, Horizon, God of War.
That was the highest one.
Yeah.
No, but that was the highest rated game of the year. 2021, the highest rated game of that year.
Returnal rate was
I don't
pretty
know.
high. That
Might have
didn't
been
make it.
Too, but
I think
2020
Astrobot is going to be nominated. I don't see it winning.
Honestly,
Yeah.
I wouldn't
I
be.
think it could win.
I wouldn't be shocked if EA funded Dragon Age getting on there.
That would be insane.
If they fund
That's-
it, getting on
You
there.
can't.
You
If
gonna
it
like
does
this
that,
game?
They're dick
You
sucking.
gonna
yo.
love it.
If they
Take it.
I'm
Not
gonna
like
tell
that.
you right now. I'm not gonna say
That's
there's
all
a.
Jeff Keighley does.
That's
is
my
dick
wild
sucking.
card. The most ridiculous.
No, not that low.
It's gonna be because EA
Not that low.
and because of some of the. It aligns with some political views of some people have
You
in,
have
in
to
some of the
have-
dialogue
Don't,
characters.
don't.
That's
Well,
it's a wild card. It's like I'm not saying it's gonna happen, but I'm gonna just say put it out in the world that's gonna
No, please
that could be
don't.
that thing that's just gonna be like what the f.
Dude,
Oh,
Hogwarts Legacy wasn't even on there because of that bullshit, you know?
Well, it's the
About,
opposite though. It's the
What about
opposite.
Diablo's DLC?
No. Also,
we're talking
Hogwarts
about Game of the
Legacy,
Year.
Unfortunately, wasn't on there just because again, it wasn't on the top of the list in terms
No.
of stuff. It was on a stacked ass year, dude.
Didn't make
Stacked.
one category, dude. That was some bullshit.
Oh well, yeah. I mean, that one category.
I
is
mean,
pretty
people
cool,
were
but, like,
our streamers were getting
I
mass
think that-
reported and stuff just for playing the fucking game, even if they didn't
For sure.
even if they didn't love it. It was just that was a ridiculous situation.
That's interesting.
Animal Will, you got to add that. That's like I think that's a lock in. Animal Will is gonna be a lock in for.
You're
that,
saying
that.
Animal Well?
Animal Will. That's the Donkeys game. It has
Oh,
a
you
90
know-
minute. That's an indie game. It's gonna be a like the indie spot for the 6.
I'm gonna
You know
say
what's gonna make it? Eiyuden Chronicles. That's gonna make it.
Like a Dragon is on there, man. I think Like a Dragon also is a lock. To be honest with you, Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. I think it's a lock on there, man. But hold on a second. Actually, that's like 3 RPGs. If you actually, that's a lot.
I'm
of
gonna say
RPGs.
Dragon Age is gonna make it over Like a Dragon.
There's no.
I'm saying
way.
it. We're gonna be looking back in a week and we'll be like, "Are
It
you?
wouldn't
Dude,
surprise
Choose
me.
called it."
So if they put Dragon Age over Like a Dragon, which is scored 10 points higher, would be insane.
Robert, can you do me a favor?
Yeah.
Can you give me a live reaction when you look through the
Well, I mean,
nominees?
that's if I remember somehow.
All right, so let's go
before
through
you
best
look through the
family
nominees.
game because not a lot of these categories mean anything. Best family game.
What did we do for Game of the Year though?
We're listing them. That's it. We got
I'm gonna list mine just to. Just
unless
to make
somebody's
sure.
got a wild card, some other wild card. Black Myth I think has a slim chance
I think there's no chance.
because it
Yeah, I
sold
think
so
it's a
much,
decent chance.
and he
The
might
reason
want to
why
bring
it
in
has
some
a chance
Chinese
is because of
audience.
sales.
He might.
And because
Yeah,
it's,
'cause
I
that's
think
what we needed.
sales wise is what would push.
You
it.
want to bring in some Chinese audience? They might do it.
I don't even think you could. Can you even see it then in China?
All right, best family game. Echoes.
Yeah.
Astro
Astrobot is
Astro.
Astrobot in there. They might
Oh
add some-
shit, that's right. Astro, that's gonna win that.
And you got to go by my
gonna win
theory.
that.
If it's nominated for Game of the Year, then it has to win Family Game if no other
Yeah.
game in that category is
Absolutely.
nominated.
Astro
You think
is-
Mario and Luigi or Mario Party be in there?
They
Mario
probably just
Party.
put Mario Party in there.
Yeah, the Mario Party game.
That one's
Which
like the
I've
definition.
heard Mario
Good
Party's
things.
been reviewed very
Yeah.
well.
One of the highest
Yeah.
reviewed. With
Which
Mario,
also, by the way, for Game of the Year, we forgot. I mean, there's still some other ones, man. Prince of Persia, Silent Hill 2, like those things could potentially.
I could see
be-
Silent Hill 2, but probably not Prince of Persia, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it probably get Dragon's Dogma 2 is pretty highly rated.
That
It's the
came
same.
That was this
Yeah,
year.
March.
Yeah,
But I
that was
think it'll
this
be
year.
forgotten,
They had a
to be
lot of
honest.
technical issues, but I never really heard much else about the game.
Yeah, man. That's why I'm like, look, Black Myth Wukong, 0 chance. I'll say it right now. 0 chance that it's making it. And if it does, that would be literally the lowest they've ever gone for that.
Death Stranding
Helldivers
2 is going to
2.
win most anticipated game.
Wait, that came out this year? That's
No,
out?
most
Oh,
anticipated.
anticipated. Yeah.
Yeah.
What else for family games? Do we think Mario and Luigi or no?
Oh, yeah,
Brothers,
put more in Luigi.
Probably.
What about one of the remakes? They are Princess Peach.
It's either
Yeah,
Peach or it'll
yeah.
be
Princess Peach.
What about Paper
Party,
Mario?
could be
Paper Mario. All the Nintendo. They're all.
Right.
I mean, just
Nintendo.
just take the
anything
Nintendo
Nintendo.
list and just pick a game, dog.
Is that an Astrobot? Is that an Astrobot?
What if Astrobot doesn't make it?
I'd be gonna.
That would be insane.
Then where would
that'd be
it
a
win
great-
in order to be? Game
They
of
probably
the
put
year?
under like action adventure game actually.
Yeah, but what would it be competing?
So here's one personal question: will Stellar Blade win? Well, we're trying to do nominations. It's definitely going to be nominated for action game.
Well, it better be
Yeah.
the fuck.
It won't win because it's gonna lose to Final Fantasy VII Rebirth,
For action.
and
I don't
that's
know, man.
why
It might lose to
It's gonna
some
put an
Wukong.
action-
I think it
Black
might lose
Myth.
to some Wukong.
Yeah, I think it loses to Sun Wukong, to be honest with you.
Wait, who loses to Wukong?
Stella Blade. Stella
For
Blade.
action game.
You get so tight about this. You get so tight about Black
He's
Myth,
so
dog.
offended, yeah.
Like,
Because,
chill
bro,
out.
people be acting like this game is like some crazy highly rated, like it's in over 90s, but it's not. So that's why like
you
I
have to
don't
take like the
think-
audience reception into account, not just like some rating thing.
You
Like
say that,
Black Myth has been
but that's
doing
not true
really
at all.
well.
you say that, but that's not true at all. Because then Hogwarts Legacy stuff like
You
that.
just outright call that man a liar.
Game Wars doesn't do that.
Hogwarts Legacy didn't get on the list.
Jeff
because
Keighley
politics
just
bullshit.
caved to the
Yeah.
bullshit. Maybe it was.
I know, but
maybe it was better just to avoid it, but-
they could ignore like that sort of aspect, that sales stuff. So that's why Black Myth ain't getting nominated for most stuff. it'll be
what the fuck?
action game. I think it'll be nominated, won't win.
This Black Myth dong hate, man.
Does it remind you of Ghost of Tsushima?
Dude, I'm being so realistic here. This is just, it's not gonna win. It's not winning.
Does it remind you of
It
Ghost of
will-
Tsushima
actually,
or
you know what?
something?
Here's the thing. It's gonna win players vote. It'll win a players vote thing. Just like
Hmm.
Sonic Frontiers, all these fucking Black Myth people are gonna go, oh, and they're gonna make it win
Wow.
player vote.
What's
shit.
another category that's worth trying to predict for?
RPG.
No, I don't want to predict for
But
that.
that's
We've already named almost all of them that came
Yeah,
out.
we didn't
I mean,
have
that's
any
how it
races
goes.
this
All
year
they
either.
always
well,
bleed
okay,
into
hold on.
each
Do
other.
you
What?
think,
Gotta
do
go.
you
Okay.
think they're gonna have Elden Ring DLC as Game of the Year?
Could-
like in it?
It's gonna be in my. It's gonna be in. It's. I'm not saying it will be in my top 5, but I'm gonna have
They
it. It's
better
gonna
not
be
put
a.
it on
It's gonna be a. It's gonna qualify for my top 5.
But it better not qualify for them. Is what I'm saying. That would be bullshit.
Jesus.
Maybe
That'd be
for
bullshit.
RPG it'll be DLC.
Yeah, I think they might
the
do something
expansion.
like that.
What? Okay, instead of trying to predict, what's a game or category that you're just like, there's gonna be something ridiculous like the Overwatch wins Game of the Year. It wasn't even that official game yet, and then
That was you talking about player PUBG.
at PUBG. Then there was like a DLC that won Best RPG, which we already
Oh
kind
yeah,
of said.
that was Is
Is there
that was
anything
something
that
like
you think, any game you can think of that they're gonna try to squeeze into something, a category? That was kind
Yeah,
of
think-
random.
Black Myth, Wukong.
maybe it'll be maybe it'll be The Last of Us
What
Part
about-
2 remastered. They'll try to shove that into. They'll try to shove that into.
What? And then Xbox
like-
released anything this year? I can't. I don't even remember.
No, they're not. No,
No.
I actually
didn't
don't.
get a
All I
release
heard was how
this year.
Sony didn't release anything this year, even though they have released games. I don't. Has Xbox put anything out
Oh, Spider-Man 2 came out, wasn't it this year?
last year?
No, it was last year.
Was it last year?
Yeah, it was last year.
And they got
'Cause people
They
got
had-
mad. Remember they got mad because
got nominated.
Baldur's Gate won.
They had Helldivers 2 and Astro Bot were the only like new games.
Yeah.
But they
Which-
they had
Although
other
if you wanted
exclusives.
about Horizon again, that was an option.
They had exclusives that weren't made by Sony.
When's Lego Horizons coming out?
year?
Isn't
This
that
month.
this year?
I don't know if they gave the date. They said
This
holiday.
month?
I thought it was this month. Yeah.
I might
thought it was-
actually. That's going to be one of those where I'm going to listen to reviews, not to see if they like. I just want to hear if this game does something different than your typical Lego game, because I'm intrigued by it. But if it's just your typical Lego game with the Horizon skin, then I don't care. But if it's like, wow,
Dude,
this actually feels more like an adventure game. It feels like they took elements from Horizon and mixed it with the Lego, like something like that. I'd be all right. That's I'm gonna consider it, but That could be a family game nominee. It's coming out on Switch. Anybody considering it for a Switch purchase?
Wait, which one?
Lego Horizon.
Oh no.
Maybe 1 year.
Lego games.
I'm
but that
barely
does not look fun
considering
to
it
me,
as a
man.
game.
Wow. It's fucked up.
It is. You gotta say the Lego. You gotta say.
Half an hour.
I didn't shit on it. I'm being realistic. I don't even know
it's
how the game plays.
overwhelmingly positive on Steam. 718,000 positive.
And you have to buy the
reviews.
game to give the
But
reviews.
guess what?
2020,
At the end of the day-
2023 Gamescom of the Year for best visuals.
Best visuals. What the hell are we talking about? It's not game of the year. What are we talking about?
What the
That
fuck
was
is
last
happening?
year before it even came out, so it was already on the radar. I'm just saying.
Yeah, and
Oh,
it
Lego
came out
Horizons
and
has a review, by the way.
overrated than every
Lego
other.
Does it
Horizon
already?
game
When does it
ever.
come out?
What?
One day ago,
Horizon.
Jerry Plays has a review. Is it worth playing? Then IGN has Lego Horizon feels more like Horizon than Lego. There you go. That's what I
Oh.
was looking for.
Okay.
I mean, I'm just. You're like, oh, it's a different camera angle. It does. It just had a different feel to me watching the trailer than the typical Lego game. But it's one of the most stunning games, honestly, just from the trailers and the gameplay. I think it easily should be in contention for like most visually
No, well,
impressive game
it's
of the
too
year.
late if that's like, I think it would be next year if it's anything.
No, the cutoff's like the end of November, I believe.
Oh yeah, 11/14 it comes out. Okay, so yes, it does come. All right. Well,
Oh,
maybe.
so the end of this week, right?
They
I got a game to play on my Pro if it has a Pro enhancement.
if it doesn't, I'll be like, what the hell?
Game.
Yeah, this is a good looking game.
Yeah, you know,
Lego games are usually.
the more I'm looking at this, man, I actually don't know if Zelda's really gonna cut that game of the year list, man.
Oh, but when I said it was a problem.
See, the second I see that, I'm like, that does not look fun to me.
When I made the so, what do you mean Zelda's not gonna make it?
I'm not a
I was
big
like,
fan of the
oh.
isometric
No.
camera
I-
angles.
I was saying that it's
Well,
not.
huh?
It was about some Nintendo thing that was saying, oh, but I was saying that Nintendo's been in most years.
Sure.
Like they only missed a few years, like literally like 2 or 3.
Yeah, I don't know about.
It might be about before.
I think Zelda would win, but for a Zelda game to not even be nominated is wild.
It is wild. Well, I didn't think Mario Wonder was gonna make it last year, but it did. I was very surprised by that.
Yeah, I was surprised by that too. Shit level design.
Yo, get the
Wow.
fuck
That's
out of here.
crazy to say, dog.
First of all, we're talking about that.
I
they
know.
nominate
I'm not
Spider-Man
gonna. I'm
2.
not gonna debate retro. I don't say it's
That's-
trash.
that's-
I just said it's a little. It just was kind of boring and.
It makes it, and then Retro's gonna say, it's still one of the best games because it's a Mario game.
So true.
Say that, I wouldn't even say
Come
that.
after that man's
What?
name.
Honestly, I have no desire to ever play that game again after I 100%ed it.
See, I don't understand. I remember Retro really enjoying the game or whatever. Then all of a sudden, it's like, as it slowly went, he was
He
like,
wanted to be
you know
part of
what?
the cool kids. That's what he wanted to fucking do.
But the cool kids love this game, man.
I just got. It wasn't my initial. Each level, the first time I played, I was like, oh, that was cool. And then I was like, well, I got to go back to find the secret exit. And I'm like, yeah, these levels are just. There's not much to them other than the Wonder Flower gimmick. Like, there's not a lot going on here.
You
So
need to make a video on this Retro though, because I'm confused.
Retro,
Is this
you
like
and I
Metroid-
could make. We should team up.
Is this
for a
like
video.
a Metroid Prime 2 situation for you?
I don't want to see that because I feel like you're gonna argue halfway through the video.
How are we gonna argue? We
Wait,
agree.
No, you didn't understand something.
I'm not
You
saying
didn't
Wonder
understand.
is
No,
You're
no,
supposed to be on the
Let me
same
explain.
team.
No. Let me
Let
explain
me-
something to you. Remember when we did that stupid Xenoblade thing, and I had Retro on my team? Retro and me will have the same conclusion, and you'll hate the way he gets there. That's always the rule. You and him might agree on the main point, but his logic to get to that point, you might, bro, where the fuck are we going, dog? Like this is.
You're like, you could have.
This is the
Finished
worst
off.
level. This title of this video is Nintendo breaks the laws of. This is the worst level. I don't know. I've just randomly clicked on this.
Also,
video.
did you see the very first sentence he said?
I like that.
Super Mario Brothers. See, did you see what he said at the very first thing? He said, "Super Mario Brothers Wonder is a near flawless game, but But then
Everything can't be fucking perfect.
But I will say
When you say
retro.
butt to something,
I want to
that
see what he
means-
says. Oh, I don't even remember this level. Is this not this level, but the one
You
I
don't remember
scrolled
this
to?
level?
This level. Yeah, I do now.
Good.
Yeah, that is.
What
This
the
feels
fuck?
like a bad Mario Maker level. This one.
Really?
Yeah. Just look at it. I mean, it just.
Just look at.
God, I must have did this on my first try because I remember it, but I don't like remember much detail
Dang,
of it.
he ate your pink
Retro,
corn.
do you actually think the game is bad?
No, it's not a bad game. It's just boring level design.
But the way
You
he'll
also
say
do
it
shit.
sounds crazy.
Which is it, yo?
The way he says it, the way he'll describe
you're
you
like-
sounds crazy.
It's a good game. It's just shit.
Oh, it's just a dog shit experience.
I did not like the power ups. I didn't like the
I find it
elephant.
very boring, but
Didn't
it's
like
a
the
good
bubbles.
You didn't like any of
I
the
hate
power-ups?
that elephant, man. It's
I
so
hate the
ugly.
elephant.
Game. Why?
It was
I can
made.
understand maybe
They
aesthetically,
said
I don't really
I
understand
hate. I just liked it
gameplay-wise.
before I found out why they made it. They made it so kids could make the jumps and stuff easier. Literally,
You're
that's
mad.
literally what the develop. But I already didn't like it. I read that after. I was like, yeah,
but
I
how
don't
does that help your jump?
because
the
you
elephant?
you can jump because you're 3 times as wide. You can make the jumps easier. 'Cause
Oh yeah, but you got the you're hitting people with your trunk and stuff. Think about it that way.
But he literally said that's why they
A lot of
designed.
the game is just flat.
He goes, we
man.
wanted to make them bigger so it was easier for less skilled players to get over jumps and stuff. That's literally
Great level design there,
what they
man.
said.
Man, are you really mad that they were
Yeah.
thinking of other age?
I
Sweet
told you I already
besides-
disliked them before I heard that, but that was now I found out why they made it. Then I was like, that makes it even worse. Plus, he looks stupid.
Yeah, but to be fair though, it's not just that. There's more to that power up. The water, the trunk.
Yeah.
It does different things. It's not just that.
I feel like it's just disingenuous.
Just saying, man, like the last minute's been sick level design, just incredible.
Yeah, but this is literally a running level, man. And again,
That's the gimmick of the Wonder
Also,
Flower.
also, by the way, we're literally watching a video that says this is the worst level in the game. He's saying
No, this is teaching you what about level design. This isn't the worst level.
Yeah,
This
he's
is
just explaining how.
this is
level
showing-
design-
How do we actually know? Because we're not even having the volume on.
It says right there, step 4, satisfying conclusion. It started off with introduction in the beginning.
I know that, but he could be saying
As
he could
someone who's
literally
watched
say-
a lot of Sonic
No, hold on,
analysis
hold on.
videos.
I guess you're right. He
yeah.
could be saying this is the
he
wrong.
could be
This
saying,
is not
a
satisfying.
satisfying
He
conclusion.
could be. Could be. I don't think
Exactly.
so. This level breaks Nintendo rules. I think this was the example of what to do right, and I think the bad level is divine level. That's what I'm guessing.
You're hoping it's divine level.
I did. This
Man.
level was kind of
Well,
stupid. But
he's showing it a lot more, so it's probably the case. But also, like, we're probably doing this guy's ton of work disingenuous.
I think I got through this on my first try because I remember the level, but I don't think I played it a second time because it really is not appealing on like just visually the colored blocks like that with like the gold background. It looks weird, but
Again, I guess
it's not standing out to me as like, oh my god, I remember this level sucking or anything. To be honest, I'm not. It was just kind
Well,
of
I don't know what to
indifferent,
tell you.
but either way, I think we've.
Either way, I don't know if Zelda's gonna make Game of the Year this time.
Oh my god.
I
So-
don't think
Here we
Black
go.
Wukong is gonna hit anything other than
What?
player vote.
Anybody else got a wild
Wow.
card for Game of the Year nominee like my Dragon Age?
No.
I don't think dude, if Dragon Age gets nominated, I'll actually be like, wow.
Also,
Okay.
side note, I'm gonna just say this now. Probably not gonna join for the Game of the Year podcast next year because I have damn sure not played like any 2012 war games.
That's
I
your
think.
problem.
Except for I'm just letting you know in advance.
You'll
That's
get
your
there.
fault, I
You'll get
meant.
there. You'll
You
get
could
there.
go.
I'm not blaming anyone else. I wasn't blaming anybody. For
But
it.
You gotta quit.
This one coming up, you're not gonna join.
I mean, I don't
Yeah,
have enough. I don't have enough games.
He keeps
for-
playing games that I don't know how you decide, but I feel like it's games people have gifted you that you play or
No,
are
I'm
recommended.
It was. I mean, the last game I played was Astral Chain. That was a back catalog.
Then maybe you should.
Yeah,
just
but I mean,
host it.
earlier this year I've watched every time I tune in, I'm like,
Well-
wow, why is he playing this? Like,
Oh,
Play some
well, Persona
classic
is a 2024 game, but it's a remake, so I don't.
It's a
know.
remake.
So
With
it's kind of hard to
It
count.
could only be one game.
Did
right?
did Shin Megami come out this year?
It did.
Shin
No,
Megami.
no. You
you
want
hungry?
Vengeance?
Yeah.
Huh?
2021.
No, Vengeance.
No, he's talking about
Yeah,
Vengeance.
that's
The re-release of
That's the
it's
game.
the
That's the game that came out in
But
2021.
PS5 players and Xbox players can play now.
They don't count as they can't if I hear them say, "Oh, that's the best game this year," I'll be like, "Man, that motherfucking game came out in 2021."
no. Listen,
We're not doing that.
That's like
not-
that's
Is
like
it a
that's like saying-
remake or a remaster?
no.
It's just an expanded thing.
It's
It's
like a
expanded.
definitive edition of it, essentially.
Yeah.
It's like an
Yeah.
expanded version. It's like saying, "Oh, Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition is the best game of 2025." Shut the fuck up. If you hear that, I'm gonna be like, "Man, you cannot have that as
I
the
didn't think
game."
this is gonna get you tight like
can't-
this, bro.
But what about all the
What
times
was on
that
some
Last
shit
of Us
tonight?
have made it again?
It hasn't. It has not. The Last of Us Part 1 didn't make a game of the year. So, Last of Us Remastered did not make game of the year. And
What
Last of Us
about
Part 2
DLC?
Remastered
What
did not
about
make game of
DLC making it? Because I know that has Liberty. What is it?
Which
Phantom
the year.
Liberty?
Left Behind?
No, Phantom Liberty for Cyberpunk.
No, it didn't make game of the year, though. It wasn't on the game of the year list.
It's also in that that's just
Yeah,
DLC, right?
DLC, but it made a list though. That's what I mean.
Well,
Like,
it made a list. Whose list?
Whose list? I was like, whose list are we talking about?
To be fair, I know what you're talking about. There are people that will say that's like my favorite game of the year. That's why well, I think this year that's going to be Elden Ring. There's going to be a lot of people that say the best game of this
Yeah.
year is Elden Ring
I
DLC.
could see that easily.
And it's going to be annoying because I'm going to be like, bro, it's not a new game. I don't know what to tell you.
I don't know what to tell
I
you.
mean,
but
don't
you're,
get
but
me
you're
wrong.
wrong.
Robert tonight, he's all like,
completely-
fuck Black Myth, fuck Zelda, fuck
I
Persona,
completely-
Mario Wonder is the greatest Mario ever and shit.
Well, actually, I do
completely
agree,
agree with the DLC piece. Like, I completely agree with that. Like,
Yeah.
DLC does not count. That's why.
No, I agree.
There
jokingly
should be a
said-
DLC
Wait, hold on,
category.
wait,
Diablo
that's
4
why-
just came out.
That's why I jokingly
guys
said
haven't said, like, what
that
you think
Diablo
that
5
game
would
is.
make it.
Wait, but do you think? Wait, so do you think Black Myth Wukong will be on the Game of the Year list for this Game Awards?
As a
I would
nominee,
say
yeah, I
yes.
think so.
I think so. Yeah.
You
Yeah, I
say
would
yes,
say
you
yes.
yes?
Man.
So 3 yeses for Black
I'll
Myth
say
Wukong for
yes.
Game of the Year. Whoa!
Definitely.
You
More
say?
than one.
Wait, but I thought you wrote down. Did you write down Black Myth?
I
Or you
just
said
I'm
yes?
just wrote
We
down
were-
all
we
the
were
ones
writing-
we threw out there.
We were writing these
I think
down.
it's just I think Jeff Keighley's gonna make a business decision, want to bring in more Chinese viewers. It
I
was
would
a huge
agree with
hit.
that.
I think Black Myth just did so well with people and with sales that it's just gonna be on there. Fuck that 80. And an 80 is fucking amazing anyway.
It is
I
a
don't
good
think
score,
you need
yes.
exclusively the top 5 best
You know
rated
what else
games
got
or
a
whatever
80?
in that list. That
Not
makes
the
no
top
sense.
5, but it you know, if you're talking about again overall consensus and what hit with the year, you know.
Yeah, then Black Myth, fuck yeah, it should be in there.
I just
Yeah,
sorry, I
yeah,
just read in the
yeah.
chat.
Team.
But
Concord.
that also means
Overwhelmingly
supposedly Black
positive.
Ops 6 should make it. That means you know what I'm saying? Like every year NBA should make it. You know what I mean? Like I mean you
Robert,
can't go by
Robert,
sales
Robert,
by year.
I have some good news for you that might make you feel a little bit better.
Oh, what?
They added Wii Sports Music to the Nintendo Music app.
Oh yeah.
Just so you, yeah.
Also,
I was
Lenny,
like, oh, wait a minute.
we got to read the Lenny writes says Concord will win game with impact. Oh,
You know what? Though?
most innovative
I know it's
multiplayer
funny.
game.
Yeah, you know that would. You know what's funny? That would have been nominated if it never got delisted.
I don't think so. Not
Probably.
with 600
know.
peak players.
Yeah.
wouldn't
I'm
have-
telling you, that would have been best multiplayer game Concord just to be included. Well, no, I guess they have Helldivers to be fair, so they could put
Yeah.
Helldivers.
I think Helldivers 2 has a chance of being Game of the Year nominee as well.
I think
Which
that'd be
one?
more best.
Helldivers 2.
I feel
No, I
that'd
don't
be best
think so.
multiplayer.
I don't think so.
I
That
think they
would
put
be
down
best
best.
multiplayer.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think it'll win best multiplayer, but I think it will be.
I don't think it may not win best multiplayer. I think there's a good chance this year that like Call of Duty might come away with the multiplayer win for the year.
I don't believe that.
It's not, Microsoft owns them now, so it's not even be nominated probably.
Now they don't even
Oh,
care.
it's like-
What you out here getting Xbox game played for? What the fuck wrong with you?
I think. Oh, you know what? Though also is there's a few multiplayer games that could be up there for sure. Helldivers,
Hey, Mario Party.
Mario Party could be even multiplayer. I think Black Ops 6 will be announced.
I
not
think
will be announced.
Elden Ring DLC
I
has
hope
some
it
kind
is
of
enough.
multiplayer.
It's been up for a while.
Um,
Dang, on IGN themselves, so they have the top 10
What?
for community results. So
Oh man, oh boy. I already know. Wait, can we guess this? Because it's gonna be so.
Yeah.
This is a predictable shit. Black
Yeah.
with Wukong is on there.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Look, that's gonna be you know what that's gonna win is the players' vote. Absolutely. I'm not gonna. Bro, it's the same thing with Sonic Frontiers. Remember, no one was gonna have Sonic Frontiers as game of the year. I mean, it's a big difference in terms of because that was 70s.
where
and
was
that
it in that
good.
list?
What
Number
Sonic
one.
Because
Frontiers?
IGN
won.
put a lot
They
of
won.
IGN put out a hit piece against the developers and a
Wait,
lot
so
of
is Black Myth number one?
Yeah, it's number 1 at 77.
Of course it was. Come on, man. Number 2 is Final Fantasy VII Rebirth.
No, it's Elden Ring.
Oh my God! See, look, they're gonna confirm. Is that number 3, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. Number 4 is. Let me guess.
Helldivers 2.
Zelda.
No. Hold on. Let me guess. It's gonna be
Star Wars Outlaws. Blah.
No,
Yeah. Oh, I forgot about that game. It's gonna
Dustborn.
Be, it's gonna be Metaphor.
Mm-mm.
Like a
Astrobot.
Dragon. Astrobot, yeah.
Silent Hill.
Stella
Scott-
Which
Buns.
one? It's which one?
It's Stella Blade.
Oh,
Stella
nice.
Oh, that makes sense. Controversy.
Buns. Yeah.
Number
This
5.
next one, I didn't even know it was out.
This next one.
Yeah.
You didn't know it was out.
Yeah. I'm going to just give it to you because I don't think any of you guys are going to get it. It was Warhammer.
Yeah, that
Oh,
came
Space
out.
Marine 2. Space Marine
Yeah.
2.
Yeah.
I would have guessed that. Probably. Number 6.
You would have already known.
Number 6 is Metaphor.
No.
Really? Is Metaphor even on there?
It is, but it is
Oh,
down there.
low.
It's probably like 9 or some shit.
It's even
Did we already
further
say
down.
Final Fantasy Rebirth?
Oh.
We did, right? That was up
Is
there.
Echoes on
Yeah.
there? Echoes of Wisdom?
Man,
Is that
Echoes
down?
is way down there.
Silent
Yeah,
Hill
they-
2,
that
man. That
makes
should be
sense.
all
It
there.
probably, yeah, it probably
Oh,
Silent
Silent
Hill
Hill
2 on there.
Silent Hill 2 is 8.
Oh,
Oh,
Paper-
so we're on 7, right?
No, we're on 6.
Paper Mario and Thousand Year Door.
Mm-mm.
oh, I knew they didn't even include that.
One of these games you guys had already guessed earlier.
Astrobot?
Yeah, Astrobot is 7, and then
Oh,
the
what's
other
6 then?
game you guys guessed, and you were like, you
Black
could
Ops
win
6?
this, but
Helldivers?
Helldivers.
Makes sense. Again, multiplayer. But you got to think in the mind of these IGN people that like.
Well, it's just
they
pop,
sit down
that's
and-
All I'm thinking of
not
is
a
5
pop-
out of
that's like a
10
popular
and 7 out of
list.
8 and 7.8.
No, think about it.
Yeah,
you
it's
get the controversy, but people love to still go on IGN even though they don't like talking about them. You got that stuff. You got the again the Sony bias kind of thing, so they'll go a little bit higher than like the Nintendo.
Yeah,
thing.
it's
not
really
like that
weird
neutral.
because
I think the majority haven't like all the top ones so far been Sony ones. Mine is like
And that makes
yeah,
sense.
yeah,
Makes sense.
and
Black Myth's not
and
Sony. It's coming out on Xbox at some point. And it's on
number
PC.
10, number
Which
10
one?
is Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. So
Oh,
That's-
makes sense.
I'm a little surprised. by
Never
that.
even heard of it.
What do you mean you ain't heard of it? What?
Never heard of
Makes
that
sense.
game.
Oh
That's
my
all
God.
we've been seeing for the past few months.
Yeah, but this what the fuck?
Where at? What kind of game is it?
Yeah.
It's
Well,
anime
you know-
Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah,
yeah,
I immediately I don't see it
Dude,
everywhere.
please
but
tell
I-
me you know what Dragon Ball Z is.
I know, but I've never heard of this game.
Okay, I had a fucking
Yeah.
panic attack. We were about to cut this shit off.
Never watched it.
Very
I
popular
would
game. It's
I would
sold a
have
lot of
walked out of this
copies already.
room right now.
I've never watched a single second of it, but
I
I
tell
know
you
what
what,
it is.
Here's that will be on best fighting game, and it will lose to Tekken.
Dude.
oh yeah, I forgot about Tekken.
Oh,
Tekken
that's
is,
right, Tekken.
yeah,
Yeah.
that-
and Tekken's
probably.
a fair ways down on this. By the way, Echoes was 17,
Damn.
God damn.
but
I'm not too surprised by that.
Echoes is above Call of Duty.
Where's Hellblade 2?
That's kind of surprising. To be
Wait,
honest.
where's Call of Duty at?
Call of Duty is 18.
See, it's still high in this year, man. It's high this year. It's
Hellblade
not
2 is
Modern Warfare
not even
3.
on
Is
the
Grounded on? No.
You wouldn't do that.
What
shit.
about Starfield DLC? Because, you know,
Oh
Grounded.
man, forgot
It's
about
not on
that.
this list.
How about-
Hades,
how about this,
DLC is
Hades
out
2
isn't it?
is on here though.
it ain't
What
out.
doesn't make sense? It's
Wasn't
not
it
even
Early
out.
access. You know how they do it.
That's stupid.
Early access on what?
PC. Like a Dragon,
Is
Dragon's
what?
Dogma 2, Persona 3, Reload, Metaphors.
When does the
on here.
Dragon Quest
Wait,
3
where's Metaphor
come
on?
out?
That comes this week, I think.
Dragon Quest?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's this week.
Dragon Quest?
Yeah, the remake. Yeah.
Oh,
Let me double check.
Luigi's
I didn't even know that comes out
Mansion
this year. I
2
thought
hit
that came out like
25.
next year.
Really?
Shut the
Yeah.
fuck
Oh,
up.
had a Paper
Wait, we-
Mario, Thousand Year Door?
No, Paper Mario's 22.
Wait, what was
What
25?
about Princess Peach? Luigi's Mansion.
That's not a.
Luigi's
Oh.
Mansion.
I was
Luigi's
like,
Mansion's
I
not gonna
don't
be
think they're gonna put.
Yeah.
Well, that's gonna win best family game.
Princess Peach don't get nominated. That's just a bunch of
Don-
men hating
Donkey
women
Kong
voting.
is way down.
Well, you see how the
Mario
I can't stop. This is gonna get me in trouble on the public platform.
Somehow
Yeah.
Stellar Blade made it, but
Princess Peach is
The
number
cheeks were too
52.
strong.
what number?
Peach didn't have the cheeks.
52. It is right above Dragon Age.
52. How many spots does this have?
A
It's-
thousand.
It was actually, it only went up to 56.
56. Wow.
That's
what
right.
is
Every
this, top
game.
700?
What about Horizon Zero Dawn Remastered? Is that on there?
Oh, that's garbage.
You know what's
That's
funny?
No,
top 68?
We
What
heard
about-
about that being
What
a
about
remake.
what about Forbidden West Complete Edition? Is that on?
no.
You know how we
Unicorn
heard-
Overlord was 47.
You know how we heard that they were remaking the first Horizon, and I was like, that's stupid. Then it was like, oh, it's a remaster, $10 upgrade if you want. Now that I have it, I wish it was a remake. I wish they took the improvements further. Like I was telling T, you can't climb anything. Your melee's just one swing light attack and a one swing heavy. It's like you lost the combo system for Forbidden West going back to Zero Dawn. I'm like, this combat sucks compared to Forbidden West. I wish they would have added more to this, but it makes sense. They did
I lied. Senwa's 38.
Which one?
Senua's Saga.
Yeah, it's 38.
Oh, that comes out
And-
that came out this year.
After
Yeah.
all those trips to Iceland,
Oh.
man.
Yeah, that's not
Right.
getting nominated.
Diablo is 41.
That's not gonna get nominated for anything, to be honest. No, that's
Maybe
not-
performance.
Visuals, maybe. Nah,
And-
maybe.
Do they have a visuals?
Don't they?
I think
thought
we
they
do.
did.
I don't know if they do. Best art direct or maybe art direction.
Oh yeah,
art
maybe
direction.
Nah,
Yeah.
it won't get
I
nominated.
think
for that.
Echoes of Wisdom. Honestly, I would have never said this before I played it, but it's one of the best looking games this year.
Yeah, but I don't think it's gonna get nominated for that because it's the Link's Awakening, like
I know.
visual art.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They don't
so
exist.
Senua's fucking art direction is the fucking carbon copy PS4 shit. I don't get what
Yeah,
anybody
but it's not,
says.
I also said it's not gonna get nominated. It's not gonna be nominated.
It will.
You know what also
But
will be
everything
nominated?
that will be
Black Myth
nominated will
Wukong.
probably have been done before.
Black Myth on PC was one of the best looking games. I heard every reviewer pretty much all said the same thing. It's one
Beautiful.
of the best looking games I've ever played.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
I was like, I would never guess based on what I've seen that would have been. I think art direct. I think Lego Horizon has a chance based on what I've
Yeah.
seen. Astrobot maybe. They do tend to go for realistic games
They
over
do go for more realistic games, yeah. Which I think.
because Control won that one year, and I agreed with. Once I played the game, I thought that was a good choice.
For art, they're gonna go metaphor. I think that'd be,
I saw some
Hey,
dialogue from that game, and I'm like, how is people sitting there listening to this dialogue for however many
I don't
damn
know.
hours?
I have not touched the demo because I was told that the demo sits you through like at least 20 to 30 minutes before you actually even play the game. I'm not here for.
I also heard the
I'm
performance
here to
isn't
play
great
the game.
unless you play a certain version of the game. Specifically, from what I heard is
What systems is it out on?
it's on PC, PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4, Xbox Series X, I believe. And from what I heard, the version you should play is the PS4 version on your PlayStation 5, which I'm just like, what?
I think you'd be
Wow.
fine with the PS5 version on the PS5 Pro, though.
Right, well, probably, but not. Guess what? I'm not spending fucking. I'm not spending almost $800 for that. That's absurd. The fuck.
I tell you what though, this year might be a pretty RPG packed year. Because I'm trying to think like what's some open world third person adventure game, but there's not a ton. There's open
not
world stuff,
really
but it's
any.
RPGs like with like a dragon.
Yeah.
When did the Jedi game, wasn't that this year?
No, that was
No,
last
wasn't
year.
it Jedi Survivor? Wasn't that last year?
Yeah, that was last year. That was in the midst of all the great games like Harry Potter.
That was last year. God
That was
damn.
not last year.
No, not Harry
wasn't
Potter,
Hogwarts
but
Legacy-
I thought.
Jedi.
Oh
Jedi.
wait, yeah, that's right, because they released it and other people said it came out too quick and it wasn't
Yeah,
finished.
it was rushed. Yeah.
Oh, they're gonna have best adaptation. So that'd be Borderlands.
Oh wow,
God.
It'll be
Man, you are a fucking troll.
Fallout's gonna win for sure.
Yeah, Fallout. That's
Yeah.
that's the easy one right there.
Arcane
Fallout.
season 2 comes out though. That's technically
When does it come out though?
it's already out. The first 3 episodes.
Shit. Well, maybe. I don't know.
I've been
No,
waiting.
but I feel like, but I think Fallout is like because it's like the first season, they'd probably give it to that.
Yeah, it's a great show.
And-
I don't even care.
And it
about
won
the
a lot
game.
of. Didn't it win a lot
It
of
was like
Emmys and
18
shit?
Emmys or something.
Yeah, so it's got to win a Game Awards.
You know what's
award.
crazy is that the actress is the voice actor of Jinx in Arcane, and I was like, damn, she's in 2 amazing video game adaptations.
She
She's a
should
good
be
luck
in
charm.
3 with the Legend of
They
Zelda.
need to cast her in Legend of Zelda. She's a good luck.
It will guarantee some quality.
You know how some actors are always in a bad movie, at least not a bad movie, but a movie that bombs.
Mm-hmm.
Like I forget his name. He's actually in this movie that I have sitting right here. He's the apprentice of the villain, and he's been in a lot of movies that completely bombed, including Sorcerer's Apprentice, and I forget his name, Toby something maybe. And some people are just always in bad movies. Like Teresa Palmer, she's in Sorcerer's Apprentice. Every movie she's ever been in was like a box office flop. So anyway,
That sucks.
random.
This is my game of the year. Here it goes. You ready? It's honestly it seems a little too RPG heavy, but that's a Astrobot, Metaphor, Animal Will, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth, and that last one is tough, but I think they're gonna give it a Silent Hill 2. I think those Silent Hill. I think there's no Zelda. I think it could be Zelda, but I think if they're gonna do Zelda, it's either Zelda, Silent Hill 2, or even a sneak Prince of Persia. Like it's gonna be those 3. But obviously, I gotta pick one, so I'm gonna say Silent Hill 2. But I think Prince of Persia could sneak its way into like that area.
I hope not. Teach Ubisoft a lesson.
What?
Bro.
To make a
These
good
are
game?
To make a good game, yeah.
Good game. You got one good game.
Oh,
That's not
they-
Okay,
enough.
so Sandstorm, what do you think is gonna be?
Well, we didn't
the
talk
sixth-
about this. Didn't they
What is-
close the studio that made Prince of Persia? I think they did.
Oh my god, I
Yeah.
forgot about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It disbanded them, so they actually they
It's like-
put people to like a Rayman game apparently supposedly.
It's like
Which-
this game is so
Oh yeah, I have
good.
friends who lost their shit when that was mentioned.
Yeah, but we don't even know anything about it. They just said the word Rayman.
And the
People just wanted a game, and they
but
couldn't.
the
get it.
people who made the games people love might not even be there anymore. Like the majority of the people. So
Well, we
Right.
won't ever know, and that's the problem.
it's just like
Right. Because they never give us the game anyway.
Exactly. See, fucking
gotta-
Sandstorm knows.
Well, we got to go around and Juice already said his games.
it's fine.
Or
We're
I
running
think-
we're out of time.
No, we got it because I'm super curious about these other 3 because
I know. No.
Come on, Sandstorm. I know Blackman's in there. What else?
No.
Do I
Don't
give
give
it to
him-
them?
Don't give him no. Don't
What's
give
a
him
wild
Sandstorm.
card? What's a wild
Make him
card?
wait for it. This is gonna be a Christmas present for him. Give him a week. Don't do it.
Retro.
Hey man, you're a parent. You know you don't give
Retro.
kids everything they want. You don't spoil children.
That was
That's
the
not
whole
what we do
discussion.
here.
Retro,
You-
what do you use your 6?
Don't do it. It's a trend.
It's Pal World. How about that?
Oh,
Oh, I forgot that came out this year.
it
I forgot that came out. That's on best multiplayer.
can't be. They're getting sued right now.
There's
They-
no way Pal World's gonna be included in fucking anything.
They
What's
got-
Oh,
going
it's
on
gonna
there?
make something.
What's going on there and shit with the
Nintendo's
laws
gonna-
and all that
Nintendo's
stuff?
Nintendo's gonna put a gun to Jeff Keely's head.
No, did you see what-
Yeah, that shit isn't gonna.
They're not even
it's
asking for
getting
that
weird.
much. It was like tens of thousands was
It's 60-something thousand. They're doing.
it's ridiculous.
It's not about the money. It's about sending
Terrell,
a message.
what do you think they're nominated?
No, I'm not telling you, bro.
Oh my god, why not? I don't understand.
All right, I'm gonna my official list.
All right, what's your official list? Let's hear it.
It's gonna be Echoes of Wisdom. It's gonna be Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. God, Astrobot. I guess metaphor, even though I don't know anything about it. Dragon Age, the Veilguard,
That'd be insane, man. I hope.
and Stellar Blade.
What?
Pun.
Damn, that is a
Just kidding. I don't know. Helldivers 2. I think Helldivers 2 would be the only other PlayStation exclusive. Well, no, Final Fantasy Rebirth is exclusive. So.
yeah. Well,
I don't think
what do you
Silent Hill
think?
2. I don't think so.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think it's if it's not Silent Hill 2, I think it's Zelda or Prince of Persia. But I don't know. I think they're gonna avoid Zelda this year for some reason.
Could be
Because
Shadows of Erdtree. Could be. Jeff Keighley's
I
done it
don't know.
before.
Not with the Game of the Year though, so that's gonna be
Yeah.
a first for. There's a first for everything. So
I thought they gave Game of the Year to a DLC, or was that a
No.
individual category? It was Best
No, it's the-
RPG.
Best RPG.
That's
right?
what I was saying. It was
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
Liberty or
Phantom
Phantom
Liberty,
Liberty. Was
Yeah,
in one.
but that was not Game of the Year. Is what I'm saying.
I
That
think
was-
The
that was
Witcher. Did The Witcher
The
DLC?
DLC came.
No,
as
that,
one,
that
so-
didn't get nominated though for Game of the Year though.
No, but what was the Best RPG winner that was or was it a RPG? Something that won.
You're talking about Cyberpunk, right? The Phantom Liberty.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
okay. I didn't recognize the name.
Yeah. And then
Was
what
that
do
best?
you get?
What about Best Ongoing Game? Wasn't it something?
Yeah, that was
Oh
Cyberpunk.
yeah, well,
Yeah.
best ongoing game was like what was that? It was
It was Cyberpunk, wasn't
It
it?
was Cyberpunk because
oh yeah, that
yeah.
made no sense. That made no sense.
It was just
Best
ongoing in the development. It was the ongoing
yeah.
part after it came out.
Best ongoing game, Metroid Prime 4. They keep.
I wonder if Cyberpunk has a PS5 Pro enhancement. That would be cool. Some
Mm.
extra ray tracing.
Retro,
Best
you can do-
ongoing game. That's gonna go to Concord. Ooh.
Oh,
Jesus Christ.
It's going on
You're
in
gonna give
infamy.
I can't believe you guys are not gonna say what your predictions are for the nominee.
he's like
I
give
thought
me
we-
jabs.
This entertains
That's
me.
what we're doing. That's
This
what we were
entertains. You know, the funny thing is, I probably wouldn't have cared if it wasn't for the overreaction. Now I just don't want to do it because I want more of that reaction. Like you fed into the demon essentially.
I know. I do know
He's
one
busy with
game
the
you
little
guys
man.
said. You guys all think Black Myth will be in there.
All right, so that's called
That's
that's
one.
called bait, and I'm not gonna fall for that.
But what's the other five?
That's called bait. Look at him. Look at him over there. Had the fucking fishing hook out and everything. Oh,
What's
about
the
to
other
catch me.
five?
Trying to catch you something over there.
Retro did say Zelda, so that's two. I know.
Look at him. Look at him. In the stream, Juice. He's over here plotting.
He's using his smash abilities.
Yeah,
sort of-
he's-
Like I don't remember everything that came out this year, but like I would say yeah, like what you said. I think Zelda should be in there. Black Myth is gonna be in there. I think Silent Hill is gonna be in there. Metaphor is gonna be in there. What's the other two big ones that came out? Final Fantasy will probably be in there, but I don't know. I've heard a lot of people not being happy with it. So I don't expect Final Fantasy to be in there.
Okay, so that's not. What about Astrobot? You don't think so?
I don't think Astrobot's going to be nominated for Game of the Year. I think it would deserve it. I don't see them do it. I don't
What
know.
about indie game Animal Well? You don't think Animal Well?
So
I'm
you
telling
feel-
you,
I don't even know what the fuck that
You
is.
fell right into it.
dude, that's gonna
You
be
fed-
that's
Fed the
right up
beast.
your alley.
Don't
Look it up.
fucking do this,
That's
retro.
right up your alley, yo.
He wants to be a fucking individual. That's what he wanted to be.
No, I'm telling it, dude. It's one of the highest rated games. It's an indie game, so they have like a
Lord. You fed
And
this demon
it's
of a
from
man,
it's published by Video Game Donkey.
and now he's. That means it won't win anything. If by that logic, then
It won't win, but it'll be
Yeah.
nominated. I think.
oh my god, this is a trap.
telling you, Sandstorm. What do you think?
Damn, look at him. He won.
All right, we're getting out of here. It's almost 3
Listen,
hours.
Oh
My
no,
card-
we were waiting
my
on you,
card-
buddy.
My card is messing up. I'm having problems with my.
What is your
We're ending. We're ending the stream.
Like that.
And hurry up before you.
Like
We're
that.
ending the
Type it real
stream.
quick so I
He's having an aneurysm.
We'll see when the nominees come out. We'll have fun making fun of the nominees.
Yeah, for sure.
So thanks to you, the 9 of you stuck with us this long, and we'll see you next week.
That looks like a fucking indie game.